via text at 33986 from Bountiful.
Bountiful. What's on this day?
Because on this day,
yeah,
we lost a spinner.
Lost a spinner.
We did. Which one?
I think it's the last one, isn't it?
Last remaining spinner?
Is it?
What's the name?
I'm not sure.
What's the name?
His name is Henry Farmbrough. Last surviving original member of the Spinners.
Oh, we've lost all our spinners.
Not listed on the as being on this song.
No, I just picked one that was in my thing because it's from the Infinity War soundtrack.
Do you ever wonder what this song is about?
About a guy.
The Rubber Band Man is a song recorded by the Spinners. The song, written and produced by Tom Bell and singer-songwriter Linda Creed, is about Bell's son, Mark, who was being teased by his classmates for being overweight. Intended to improve his son's self-image, the song eventually evolved from being about the fat man, and they do mention the fat man in there, to the Rubber Band Man.
It's I'm rubber, you're glue.
The last
bounces off me and sticks on you.
The last major hit by the Spinners to feature Philippe Wayne on lead vocals. The Rubber Band Man spent 3 weeks number 2 on the U.S. Billboard charts. Now, I don't want to hear this. It was performed by Linda Carter twice on TV in the 1980s.
No, not going to do that.
During her first of 5 Linda Carter specials. And in an episode of The Muppet Show, accompanied by a band of Rubber Band Men Muppets. That might be worth it. Says the song also appears in the movie Stripes. And then, of course, the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Infinity War.
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy listening to it when they run into Thor in space. And I mean literally run into Thor in space.
Thor.
And then it was used in an advertising campaign for Office Max. A guy stealing office supplies.
Like rubber bands.
What a great song that is. Now I actually am curious to hear how Linda Carter did it with the Muppets. It was their last major hit, the Spinners' last major hit, Rubber Band.
Rubber Band Man? Out of spinners.
Apparently, Henry was rich baritone lead vocal of the Spinners. So not this guy.
I'll be there whenever you want me. I'll be there whenever you need me. I'll be there. I'll be around.
What was his name again? Henry Fairborn?
Henry Farmbrough.
You know, he's listed as a former member. They have a list here of current members of the Spinners.
Oh.
So apparently...
Are they still touring?
So we still have spinners?
Yes.
They're not AI spinners?
I thought we were all out of spinners.
No, there are 4 people.
Well, we're out of original. We're out of original
Still touring as the Spinners.
They could do that forever then.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I don't want no hologram spinners. You get up there now.
So strange. Every time I speak your name, that's funny. You say that you are so helpless.
Nice. Man.
That you don't know what
Yeah, it says the group continues to tour without any original members after Henry Farmbrough retired in 2023, and now...
We just need 5 guys in matching jackets, and it can be anybody.
So it's fake spinners, is what you're
Well, they can sing. And I think the guys that are touring now as the Spinners, they were sort of parts of the band when there were still original Spinners in it.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
I'll keep working my way back to you, babe.
This has been redone by a bunch of people. I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the guy.
That's him. That's him.
There he is.
That's him? Oh, we should have played this one then. Sorry. I pulled out my Infinity War soundtrack.
Rubber Band Man's a good song.
Yeah, these guys that are touring now, they've been with Spinners for a long time. I mean,
They've been around long enough that we can consider them.
Yeah, they've been parts of the Spinners.
Okay.
What a great, just great voice.
Working their way up the chart this week to number 3. A lot of people don't.
Put it up.
Been paying every day.
There you go. That's him. That was him.
A lot of people don't know this is two songs in one.
What do you mean?
It'll segue into "Forgive Me, Girl" any moment now.
Oh, that's right.
Two songs in one.
I like songs that do that, like Queen did that.
Yeah.
Well, now we have to wait till that happens.
Yeah. We've got to have it happen here.
Okay, let me
Yeah, it's good. The song is called "Working My Way Back to You" / "Forgive Me, Girl."
Mm-hmm. There it is.
Here we go.
They did another song like that.
Wait, we have to go over and over again.
And then it comes back. Comes back to. There you go.
I don't. They did Cupid.
Draw
yeah,
back
Cupid.
your bow.
Cupid, and I've loved you for a long time.
Yeah.
A medley song, they call it.
Lance from Vineyard says they should now be called the Spunners.
Oh,
Because they're not currently spinning.
because they're not spinning.
They spun.
They have done spun.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
Al Green originally?
Sam Cooke.
Sam Cooke, that's right. Man, that's nice stuff.
Indeed.
All right.
Okay, well, there you go.
This has been Farting Around with Carrie, Bill, and Gina on X96, Radio from Hell.
Boy, if you don't listen to Radio from Hell Live, you missed out on some
I was just
prime farting around.
I was just going to say that. I was just going to say that. That was pleasant farting around to end the week. Yesterday, not so pleasant. Today, pleasant.
Not so pleasant if you're trying to drive in Parley's Canyon. There's a jackknifed semi westbound. 3 right lanes are closed. It is a mess in Parley's Canyon. I would stay on either side of that if you are usually using that as part of your commute. I wouldn't right now. Of course, traction devices, as you might expect, are in effect for both Big and Little Cottonwood Canyons. I don't have any other accidents to tell you about other than that semi, but maybe you have something to tell us about. Text it to us, 33986.
All right, we'll take a break now, and then we'll come back, and we'll go to your check-ins for the last time of the week. 877-602-9696. That's 877-602-9696. That's the number you use to check in with the Radio from Hell show. We like to hear from you in the morning, so please avail yourself of that and say hi. You can also text us 33986. I had something for you, Carrie.
What?
Yeah. Oh, I wrote this down for you. Syphilis is on the rise, increasing 75% since 2017. I know that's your favorite venereal disease. So syphilis is on the rise, and to top it off, there's a shortage of penicillin. So,
Well, we're doomed.
It's
then.
the perfect storm, isn't
Yeah.
it?
yeah,
Speaking of diseases, I sent you this story, Bill.
the
The
vampire.
Yeah.
I was going to save it for tomorrow,
Oh,
but we can
okay.
talk about it now if you want.
What's going on?
Vampire facials.
so they're
Oh, is this back again?
well, but this is bad news. I mean, not. I don't think vampire facials
Well,
were
it's bad
ever
for me. I was going to get one.
were ever a good idea. But New Mexico health officials say new HIV infections have been linked to a salon that performed vampire facials almost 5 years after the business closed. It was called the VIP Spa. I think Bill made this a boner candidate when it first came out.
Seems to me.
Yeah.
that's
Now,
great.
remind everybody what the vampire facial is.
I mean, it's kind of what it sounds like.
It was a ridiculous trend.
Yeah,
They take your own blood
supposedly.
and then they inject it under the skin of your face.
Yeah, the procedure involves drawing blood from elsewhere in the body, typically the arm, separating out the platelet-rich plasma, pricking facial skin with microneedles, and then applying plasma to the face. I don't understand why anybody ever thought
It's
this was-
ridiculous. These trends happen, and there's no science behind them. It's just, ugh.
So the health department says they're not clear how the HIV was transmitted, but my guess is she was just using the same needles over and over again.
That would exactly.
They say that the department, the health department, says that that actually the procedure is not really that dangerous if you follow what
It's stupid.
It's stupid.
if you do what you're supposed to do. Yeah, and I don't see that there's any evidence that it does what it's supposed to. Makes you look better.
I mean, I'm all about new product. I like product.
Product.
What do you mean by that?
Product, like goops and serums and lotions and
Have you got a
potions.
closet full of goops and serums
Yes.
that you
I
use
am a big fan of.
that you use briefly and then stop?
Depends. Some of them I end up loving. I try lots of different things, and some of them I get are my favorites, and others I go, that was dumb. I can't believe I spent money on that. It's not always the most expensive thing.
No.
That's the. So one of the goops and serums I bought recently is this eyebrow serum.
Well, I bought that for my wife.
But I bought the $15. The company's
The
called
knockoff version?
No, the company's called The Ordinary, and their whole thing is, you're being fed a load of crap from these beauty companies.
Which
we
you-
can make things just as good
Which you are being fed a
for
load of-
cheap.
Yeah.
And my daughter, who has gorgeous skin, that's her. She uses all their products. She
She's
swears-
young, Gina.
She swears by
Gina,
them.
she's under 20.
But so I bought we talked about this last week, I think, about eyebrow stuff. Mm-hmm. And she said they have this, Ordinary has this eyebrow serum. It's working for me. $15.
Now, what is it supposed to do?
It's supposed to encourage.
Encourage growth?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not like fake growing hair. It just makes it.
If only you were a male over 50, because eyebrows just tend to take over.
Yeah. I got one single one here that'll grow out like
Just one.
just one. I mean, they all grow, but there's one that gets real crazy.
If I were to let mine go, look like Andy Rooney.
Do you ever notice how your eyebrow hair?
I can't get mine to stop.
What's the name of that company, Gina?
The Ordinary.
The Ordinary.
Everything is cheap, and it works.
I don't know. Sometimes you pay for, like I pay for good lotion, and I pay. It's that CeraVe
Yeah.
moisturizing lotion. It works really well. It's not greasy, and it's fairly expensive. But it's more expensive than buying a bottle of. You know.
Let's get this over with.
I'm for that. Let's officially begin the program, and then we'll go to check-ins. If you've a mind to do it, I don't see anybody calling us yet, but if you'd like to, you can. It's 877-602-9228. 9696. You can also text us at 33986. Gina.
If you're a loving dad who only wants the best for his children, they're here to help. For a free consultation and review of your legal rights, call 801-FATHERS, the law office of Jolly and Jolly. They are here to help.
The moon is it's gone.
Why are you dismissing
It's
the
just
moon
gone.
so much?
0.4% of full. There's just nothing to it. What there is of it will rise today at 7:44 a.m., but not so you'd notice it. Today being Friday, it's the 9th day of February in the year of our Lord Jesus Christ, 2024. National Toothache Day.
Oh.
I don't get that. Why would you? No,
Just celebrate that. I don't know.
Actually, it's to serve as a reminder of the benefits and overall importance of dental hygiene.
It is.
Love you, Dr. Carol.
It's Read in the Bathtub Day. Do you read in the bathtub?
Sure.
Ever?
No phone in the bathtub. No electronics in the bathtub.
I sometimes read my iPad in the bathtub, which is sort of dangerous because if you drop it in the water,
Which is why I
it's
don't.
toast.
Yeah.
National Pizza Day, National Bagel and Lox Day, National Chocolate Day, and National Owen Day, celebrating those people who have the name Owen.
Really?
Either first name or last name, Owen.
Carrie?
All right?
No.
Owen! Owen!
There, you get that.
Okay, how about that?
You get
That's
that.
not what I was
You
going
little
for,
poop!
but okay.
Owen, you little poop!
Gosh, Mama is so nice. I don't.
Owen! Hey!
What?
Hey, y'all, prepare yourself for Radio from Hell. You've never heard a sound like the Radio from Hell, man. You're bound to lose control when Radio from Hell starts to jam. Radio from Hell, starring the Lords of Morning Radio, Kerry Jackson. I'm handsome Bill Allred. Ellen! That's Gina Barberi right over there. Katie, for short, is our producer. And we have Macy and the dog helping out
Max.
as well.
All right. Well, we do have a
Somebody called us?
877-602-9696. It's Julie.
Hi, Julie and Sandy.
Hi, I took the bait. No one was calling, so I thought I'd call to check in, but also to say how much I really enjoyed Craig Worth's segment on your show yesterday.
Yeah.
So much so that in the afternoon, I listened to it again on the podcast.
Aw.
He is such a delight.
Isn't
I can
he?
see why Nick would say that's his favorite professor at the U. It makes me want to audit his class.
Yeah.
I want to have Craig Worth on periodically.
like once a month or something.
But all I
Oh my
want him
gosh,
to
please
do,
do.
this is like a David Letterman bit. All I want him to do is pop in and say, Craig Worth, still not dead, and then he leaves. And that's-
You know, Gina, we could get that on tape.
Shh, no, I
We
want
could
him to
record
come
that.
in.
Proof of life.
Yes.
I'm going to do a
Much better
With
than-
Craig Worth.
I'm going to do a long form interview with Craig here in the near future for a podcast. And
If you don't know what Julie's talking about, you should podcast yesterday's show and listen to our
he was on
interview
about
with Craig Worth.
7:45 and 8 o'clock breaks. And Craig Worth, worth watching on Channel 4. And go to the YouTube, and there are a whole bunch of his reports
Yeah.
there.
It's WIRTH, by the way.
Thank you. I'm going to go down to Craig Worth's wormhole now. So thank
Thanks,
you very
Julie.
much.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. He was a sweet, charming, delightful guy. And
Yes.
we could all stand to be more like Craig Worth.
And a friend of the program.
Yep.
You can tell he listens to the show.
And I remembered that he had been on our show a long, long time ago. I don't remember
It was a couple studios
exactly
ago.
why, but but I guess we
I guess we did.
we had him on and chatted with him sometime.
Thanks, Julie.
Bye, Julie.
All right. Let's see. Johnny Hash checking in. Radio from Hell show is like the Spinners for me because every time I turn on in the morning, you'll be there.
Okay.
Yeah. Statler and Waldorf checking in from the balcony.
Hi.
Just wanted to remind you guys you aren't half bad. You're all bad.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We appreciate that.
Jessica from Stockton checking in. Let's go to Michelle.
Hello, Michelle. Michelle, where are you calling us from?
Hi, I'm in Clearfield.
Okay. And what do you want to clarify something here?
Yes, well, about the story that you ran in between the boner candidates yesterday about the bus driver who was arrested for, sending loose photos and things like that.
Yeah.
You neglected to say if that was either a drag queen or they were trans.
Yeah.
Yeah,
which-
No,
which-
it wasn't
what's,
mentioned in there
that's the word for-
anywhere.
I don't believe that that
Good
person.
question.
I don't believe that person was either a drag queen or trans.
A good point you are
I
making.
mean, that's who we're protecting the kids from.
Could it be the legislature's-
I just needed to.
Could it be the
Make sure,
legislature has been
people
fooled
working.
by the internet?
No.
Could it be?
I wonder if we now have to start saying drag queens, trans people, and bus drivers.
You could throw.
Well, I'm assuming it had to be one of the two because that's why where
Yeah.
we're banning the books and
Yeah.
regulating bathrooms. To protect
You could
our
throw.
kids, so.
You could throw youth pastor in there as well.
Thanks for making an
Yeah,
excellent point,
exactly.
Michelle. Thank you very
Michelle.
much.
All right.
Thanks. Have a good day.
All right.
You see, check in with us. Michelle made an excellent point. You, too, could make an excellent point. 877-602-9696.
Zane checking in on my way to work. Remember who you are, what you stand for, and return with honor. Rhett and Lehigh checking in, driving up to Victor, Idaho.
Oh, Rhett, things are not good the further north you go, so
Oh,
be
really?
careful.
Kira checking in. Okay. Pittsburgh listener Mauricio Paez checking in. A superior farting around today.
Thank you, Mauricio.
I agree with Gina. Got to listen live to enjoy that.
Yep.
Jerry from Brigham City checking in. You guys are the best radio stations that have ever been.
Huh.
Okay.
My brother David checking in from Phoenix.
Oh,
Good
okay.
morning,
Good morning, David.
Johnny B checking in, listening while eating some chocolate chip cookies for breakfast.
It's not really a healthy breakfast.
No, you should have a bowl of Cookie Crisp cereal instead.
That's part of this
Yes.
complete breakfast.
Logan the Welder checking in. Let's see, Mike in Nashville checking in. Willing the show to continue.
Thank you.
Good morning from Cedar Hills. Cardboard Chris checking in. That Craig Worth interview was some of the best radio I've heard in a long time. I would welcome more interviews from local celebrities.
Who do you give
Yeah,
us
well,
some
give us a
suggestions?
list.
Who do
Give
you
us a
Yeah,
list.
give us a list. Who would you like us to talk to?
Yeah.
Because I'll bet you we could get almost anybody to come on
Almost.
and be on the show.
Reba and Pups in North Carolina. Glad it's Friday. Colonel Coffee Bean having a non-zero birthday today.
Non-zero.
That means we don't celebrate.
Oh, you only celebrate like milestone kind of birthdays.
Oh, a non-zero. Oh, that's what that means. Okay.
Let's see. We have somebody on line one there.
Whitney is here. Hello, Whitney.
Hi, Whitney. Where are you calling from?
Hi, guys. Longtime friend of the program from Salt Lake.
Okay.
Thank you.
I just had a quick question. I know you guys, your animals are like your family is
Yes.
mine are. And I had to put my
Oh,
15-year-old dog to sleep last week.
I'm sorry.
And it was the most horrific
Yep.
experience I've ever had. And I
Yeah.
will never return to the vet again. He had a horrible reaction when they started their IV. It was a horrible thing. So I'm wondering who you guys go to, who you refer.
I go to Dr. Rick Whitty, and one of the
Okay.
things I like about Dr. Whitty is he's a mobile vet.
Oh,
So
come-
you don't go to him.
I mean, you
he go to-
can.
he
has
go to you.
He has an office, but if you have like an elderly pet or something that's difficult he will come to your house. And when I had to put Sadie Girl down, he came to the house and did it at the house. So she was in her own bed, and the family was all around, and
Yeah,
it was
that's
a
the way it
nice-
should be.
When Mr. Fluffy Pants was, it was time for him to be put down. We did it at home, sitting in the back. I couldn't. My wife was holding him, and I couldn't do it.
It's hard.
I couldn't
It's
even
awful.
watch really.
It is such a hard thing. I mean, I've had this dog. I've had him since he was a baby. He's my, been my best friend, and I laid down with him, but it was the hardest thing I've ever been.
Whitney,
I mean, I put other animals down, but it was bad.
Whitney, the Avenues
Yeah.
Pet Clinic, Doctor.
Okay.
Doctor. I can't think of her name now, but the Avenues Pet Clinic is pretty good.
All right, there you
Okay,
go.
awesome.
Thanks, Whitney.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Bye-bye. Traffic, Gina, please.
Yeah, so there's a jackknife semi in Parley's Canyon, westbound I-80. We've got 3 lanes of traffic closed there. We also have a crash, I-15 southbound. This is in Ogden. 3 left lanes closed there as well. The further north you go, the worse it gets. Box Elder County, Tremonton. There are several accidents all up through there. If you're like our friend of the program who's headed to Idaho. Not great right now. Traction devices are in effect for Big and Little Cottonwood Canyons this morning, as you might expect. And what are you seeing out on the roads? Saw from, let's see, Katie in Tooele says it's snowing in Tooele once again. Everyone drive safe out there. Thanks, Katie. And if you're out there seeing something you think friends of the program need to know about, text it to us. 33986. Big O Tires, locally owned and operated in Utah now through February 19th. Get up to $160 off select sets of tires after mail-in rebate. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
Dr. Ponce at Avenues.
All right. We're going to take a break. We'll be back after some messages and a song with Big Boy News and Frank Christ Presents all on the way. Harmon's for Valentine's Day.
Yesterday, my Aunt Nan's in town, and she came to my house, and she saw this big, beautiful orchid that Bob Harmon brought us yesterday, and she's like, that's the most gorgeous orchid I've ever seen. Got it from Harmon.
The red velvet cheese ball. I took one home yesterday, and I don't see it in, I didn't try it. And now I don't see it in the house anymore. I think
It'd be gone?
I think it was consumed overnight.
Well, those are only available for a limited time at Harmon's, Bill, so you got to go get it soon.
Cupcakes, all the stuff for Valentine's Day that you could possibly want at Harmon's. Flowers and orchids, as we talked about, specialty chocolates, candies and nuts and tarts and pastries, steaks. Maybe you want to do some nice steaks for Valentine's Day. Scallops with wild, fresh steamed shrimp as well. All kinds of delicious items for the strawberries, by the way. So the strawberry tray is available starting Saturday, and then the chocolate-covered strawberry is available starting Monday the 12th.
Yes.
And that's it. So go to your Harmon's grocery store.
Don't miss a single moment of the Radio from Hell show.
Will you take the pain I will give to you again and again?
No, it's again and again.
Apparently so. Would you like to be the professional announcer?
I'm sorry, John.
I'm doing this for the American audience. Let me start again.
All right.
Will you take the pain I will give to you again and again? Apparently so, because you're back for another Beat Gina. I'm Beat Gina booth announcer Johnny Ola. Are you an asthma sufferer? Well, we've got an answer for you. Introducing Dr. Batty's For Your Health Asthma Cigarettes.
Oh.
Yes, since 1882, Dr. Batty's specially formulated asthma cigarettes have been bringing temporary relief of the paroxysms of asthma.
Wow.
Dr. Batty's For Your Health Asthma Cigarettes effectively treat asthma, hay fever, foul breath, all diseases of the throat,
Wow.
head colds, canker sores, and bronchial irritations.
Nice.
Dr. Batty's For Your Health asthma cigarettes are available at fine pharmacies everywhere, not recommended for children under 6. And now, here is your host, a man who is recommended for all ages.
Oh.
The one, the only, the asthma-free,
Yes.
Kerry Jackson.
Thank you, Johnny Ola. Thank you so much. The randomizer has...
I'm also asthma-free thanks to Dr. Batty.
Oh, that is good, yes. Started when you were young.
Yeah.
Helps for bad breath, huh?
Yep.
Okay, checking. The randomizer has picked a contestant. You'll be going against Andrew today, Gina. Hello, Andrew. Yep.
Hello.
Andrew,
Hello.
hi.
I think you could use a Dr. Batty's asthma cigarette.
I
Andrew.
think so, Andrew. Let's toss a coin.
Maybe.
Let's go. Let's toss a coin to see who goes first. Andrew, call it. Heads or tails?
Heads.
All right. Coin toss app says Gina. Heads.
You are one step closer to winning his tickets to see Psychedelic Furs and Squeeze September 30th at the Eccles.
But if Gina manages to claw from behind and beat you, what are you prepared to do in her name, Andrew?
Donation to the Red Cross, like always.
Nice. All right. Okay, Andrew, it's Owen Wilson and Ben Stiller trivia today because Zoolander was released on this day many moons ago. Pre-2001, I'll say that.
Okay.
Okay. So the first question is for you, Andrew. It's multiple choice. If you get it correctly, you get the point. If not, I will allow Gina to answer it correctly, steal that point away from you, and we'll go back and forth until one of you has 3 points. All right, here we go. First question. Andrew, Ben Stiller holds the record for what? Is it 1, the The most valuable Star Trek, the original series actual props collection. 2, heaviest train pulled with a beard. 3, most apples held in the mouth and cut in half by a chainsaw in 1 minute. Or 4, the longest selfie stick.
Oh, number 4.
Number 4 is correct.
Oh, my goodness. There you go.
He had it made for Zoolander 2 premiere.
Nicely done. That's 1 point for Andrew.
Oh, yeah.
Gina.
Yes.
These are... Owen Wilson was born where?
Okay.
These are all real places, by the way. So 1, Dallas, Texas. 2, Santa Fe, New Mexico. C, Fart, Virginia.
God.
Or 4, Stiffney Knob, North Carolina.
I'm going to say Dallas, Texas.
Dallas is correct. Yes.
It's tied now. Back to Andrew.
Andrew. Ben Stiller was a drummer in a punk band.
He was?
Yes. What was the name of that punk band? Was it 1, Planet P? Was it 2, Capital Punishment? Was it 3, Gutful of Cheese? Or 4, Rage Against the Vending Machine?
That's thinking sounds.
What was number 1?
Number 1 was Planet P.
Let's go with number 1.
Number 1, no.
No?
That is a real band.
I would have said that.
And Maya Rudolph was in it.
That's why I thought that was it. That wasn't it.
That's why the writers threw that at you.
Oh,
All right,
I'm
well.
gonna need the.
Okay. Was it 2, Capital Punishment? 3, Gutful of Cheese? Or 4, Rage Against the Vending Machine?
I'll have to go with Capital Punishment then.
Punishment is
Uh-oh,
correct.
Andrew.
Andrew.
That's 2-1, and Gina controls the question.
Oh,
this
no.
could be the winner.
Gina. Owen Wilson has done most of his screenplays with who? Is it 1, Bill Hader? Is it 2, Phyllis Steen? 3. She's very good. Is it 3, Wes Anderson? Or 4, Ike and Stand Musicals? Ike and Stand
Yes.
Musicals.
Wes Anderson?
Wes Anderson.
Yes,
correct.
Gina wins the game. I'm
I
sorry to
do.
say, Andrew.
Oh.
That's terrible.
Oh, emotional damage.
Oh,
Well, we can't have that.
oh, we can't be responsible for that.
But now, you're willing to give blood. I mean, that's more than I have given
That's true.
right now.
That is
So
true.
I think to reward you for that effort, we'll go ahead and give you these psychedelic furs and squeeze tickets coming to the Eccles this weekend.
Yes.
How about
Saturday.
that?
Oh, I love you guys.
Listen, I've got to go. I'm going to go listen to my Depeche Mode collection.
Oh, good. All you have to do is listen to our HD channel. I think that. Gotta Be Talking That song.
Sure.
That's probably my favorite Depeche Mode song. 6:42, we have time for news, and right after that news, it's Frank Christ Presents. They're fine, they're just fine. It's our dead celebrity game. Going to give you a list of 4 celebrity names, 3 of them just fine. One of them dead. Pick the dead one correctly, you'll win.
You will win tickets to see The Last Dinner Party coming to the Complex on August 7th.
That's a band.
Very good band, The Last Dinner Party.
All-women band, is
Yes,
it?
all women. 877-602-9696. Line up to play Frank Christ Presents. They're fine. They're just fine. Right after this, Big Boy News and a Pinuendo. Brought to you by
Salt Lake Magazine calls Swan Lake breathtaking, featuring the timeless music of Tchaikovsky performed live with the Ballet West Orchestra February 9th through the 17th. Buy tickets at balletwest.org.
Tragedy. He was one of a kind, an original. He will be missed. Seiji Ozawa, the high-spirited Japanese conductor who took the Western classical music world by storm in the 60s and 70s and was music director of the Boston Symphony Orchestra from 1973 clear into 2002. He died on February 6th in Tokyo. He was 88 years old. The cause was heart failure, said a spokesperson. He'd been experiencing health problems and never fully rebounded from surgery for esophageal cancer in early 2010. He also had very bad back problems and heart valve disease. Sergei Ozawa. He was really wonderful to watch conduct an orchestra. He was very flamboyant. Paul Giamatti. This is such a strange story. Said this week that Cher has reportedly spent years trying to contact him.
What?
Every now and then I get a message from somebody that says, Cher really needs to talk to me. And then, like, it's really important. Like, it's crucial that she talks to me, Giamatti said. And I'm like, well, what the F? What does Cher want to talk to me for? Nobody will tell me. And he continued, and then I never hear anything, and a year will go by, and then it happens again. Giamatti went on to say that Cher managed to reach him eventually via voicemail.
What is it,
He
Cher?
continued. Eventually, somebody did get in touch with her, and she did call me and leave a message on my phone, and all she said was, I hear that you want to talk to me. And that was it. That was all she said. He went on to say the back and forth continued for some time, and he eventually returned Cher's message with one of his own. I left her a message, and I said, well, that's great. I'd love to talk to you, but I thought you wanted to talk to me. And that's the last I heard. I haven't heard anything again.
By the way, I have a dark horse Oscar prediction.
Really?
I think Paul Giamatti is going to beat out Cillian Murphy.
Really?
He could.
He was pretty
I
good
think
in
he
that
could.
movie.
He could. I didn't see it, but he
It's
could. And
really good. You
and
should
they're-
watch that. You'd like that.
they're doing a lot of publicity for it. Too.
I didn't want to see that movie, and Sue made me watch it.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I did. It was good.
I don't know what she could possibly want to talk to me about. And it's killing me. I mean, I'm dying to know what she wants to talk to me about.
Playing
I mean,
phone-
it would be great. I'd love to talk to her about anything. I don't care. It'd be fantastic.
Playing phone tag with Cher. Yes, celebrities. They're just like us.
But, Paul Giamatti, his father was a professor at Harvard. Harvard. And I think it was Harvard, maybe it was Yale, and then he went on to be the baseball commissioner. He was commissioner
really?
of the Major League Baseball.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay.
Let's see. As condemnation continues over bullying comments made by Utah State Board of Education member Natalie Klein, the board itself is saying it will soon be taking action on the matter. Earlier this week, Klein created a Facebook post that appeared to imply that a female member of a girls' basketball team in the Granite school district was transgender. After keeping the post up for nearly a full day, Klein removed it Wednesday and sort of apologized.
Yeah.
Saying that the student-athlete is a biological girl and always has been since birth. She does have a larger build.
Yeah, I mean, you can't blame me for thinking.
Come on. And she has a kind of a butch haircut,
But the thing that keeps getting lost in this
Well.
is let's say she was transgender.
Yeah.
That is also, just
Yeah,
because
exactly.
she's not, it's bullying either way.
Come on, here, listen to this. Kira Birkeland, state lawmaker.
You're
Who?
pretty, Kira.
Well, in this picture, she's not very pretty. I'm sorry, Kira, they didn't get you in a good light in this
That's
picture.
the liberal media.
That's it. The Salt Lake Tribune sort of makes you look less than pretty. Kira Birkeland, state lawmaker, shared protected information in apparent violation of the law she crafted.
Because she didn't
When
craft it.
when she commented publicly about the determinations made in cases where transgender high school athletes in Utah have petitioned to compete. And it is possible that Representative Birkeland could face criminal charges for that. Salt Lake County District Attorney Sim Gill said the students whose information Birkeland shared could choose to file a complaint with their local police department. After an investigation, his office would screen that for prosecution if it's within the county. Anytime there's a violation of the law, we're happy to review these matters once they're brought to us, Gill said. Gill said if complaints don't come in, he would also consider starting the process himself to look at the situation, which he has jurisdiction to do. The Utah Attorney General's office, which has statewide jurisdiction, could also take it up, but a spokesperson there said that would be unlikely without somebody first filing a complaint.
Well, Sim Gill's going to be on the show today. Maybe we could talk him into it.
When asked whether Birkeland could face consequences for her comment, Senate President Stuart Oudham said during a daily meeting with reporters, "I think we're letting this play out, and we'll know as things proceed." What does that mean?
I don't want to upset people.
It's a little early to try to predict that, but thank you. Leadership for the House of Representatives, the body Birkeland is a member of, meets with reporters once a week. House Minority Whip Jennifer Daley Provost weighed in, saying in a statement, "We're consulting with legal counsel to assess the extent of discussion surrounding Klein's post and its impact," adding that she supports calls for Klein's impeachment. Anyone who intentionally discloses records that are classified as protected could be charged with Class B misdemeanor, Gill confirmed. Birkeland shared the protected information when she commented on a Facebook post that conservative Utah School Board member Klein had shared the day before. Birkeland wrote that Klein's comments were in poor taste and that the school board member should let the laws regarding student athletics play out. But then she went on to reference specific cases because she's stupid. And boy, oh boy, the legislature is just... A legislative committee was not in the mood to give opponents of Utah's new state flag another lifeline in their continuing quixotic quest to overturn the adoption of the new banner on Thursday. As a last resort, they're turning to federal court. After more than an hour of debate and public comment, the House Economic Development and Workforce Services Committee punted on a bill sponsored by Representative Phil Lyman of Blanding. The layman's bill aimed to restore the traditional historical flag as the only official flag, nixing the modern redesign adopted by the legislature because they think it's woke.
Yeah, we like the new flag.
Well, that's what they don't like. They don't like it.
Oh, they don't like it. Would someone get me one of these new flags so we can hang it on the studio door here,
let's get one.
so that everybody in this building can see it?
I can add it to my flag wall.
This is outrageous too.
Right.
We got to get to this.
Okay.
As a special counsel report released Thursday found evidence that President Joe Biden willfully retained and shared highly classified information when he was a private citizen, including about military and foreign policy in Afghanistan, but it concluded the criminal charges were not warranted. The report from special counsel Robert Hur, who is not a doctor, by the way, resolves a criminal investigation that has shadowed Biden's presidency for the past year, but its bitingly critical assessment of his handling of sensitive government records and unflattering characterizations of his memory will spark fresh questions about his competency and age. In remarks at the White House, Biden denied that he improperly shared classified information, and he angrily lashed out at her for questioning his mental acuity. They said, this prosecutor said, well, he's an old man and his memory's not good. He couldn't remember exactly what the dates were that he was vice president, when it started and when it ended, and he couldn't remember exactly the year that his son died. And look, you see this? I have a book here which has the days of the year in it. And in this book, if you looked in my book, you would see the anniversaries of my parents' deaths, my grandparents' deaths. I keep track of that. I put on their birthday, and in parentheses, I put the year that they died. Because I can't remember.
I don't remember. I
can't remember the year my mother died.
Or my father. I can't remember. I honestly can't. This guy's a Trump stooge, first of all, the guy who did this. And he couldn't indict Biden legally, so he decided to indict Biden politically.
He decided to slander him.
Yes.
If I were Joe Biden, I think I'd take him to court.
Well, and that's why
this is public slander.
That's why Biden, immediately did a press conference after that, And was
he was clearly pissed.
And he was bantering back and forth with reporters just
Yep,
fine.
He was fine. A doctor has taken to Twitter to ask medical colleagues for help after finding a severed snake head in her frozen beans.
Ooh.
Dr. Rachel Buckle-Rashid, a pediatrician from Atlanta, Georgia, posted a photo which showed the chopped-off reptile head on top of a pan of frozen green beans. The beans, she said, were bought at a grocery store chain, Giant Food, which has 166 stores across the country. What pathogen should I worry about with a severed snakehead in frozen green beans, she asked.
You don't understand. You got the snakehead.
Yeah, man, you're lucky.
You lucky bastard.
President Putin, Russian President Vladimir Putin, spent 30 minutes of his 2-hour interview with
jobless Tucker
Carlson. I have to be very careful when I say it's Tucker Carlson, giving a revisionist historical tirade. Tucker barely got a word in edgewise as he let the. He's a stooge for Putin. He's a stooge.
He's a useful idiot.
And Putin made fun of him a couple of times during the interview.
And when it comes to gambling on big games, Hogel Zoo. They let their lion pick the winner of the Super Bowl.
Oh, good.
They have a lion named Vulcan, and the lion went over and roared in front of the Raiders, I believe, or the Chiefs. I meant the Chiefs.
Okay.
I think he thinks the Chiefs will win.
Sports brought to you by Phoenix is Rising Events presents a dance party tonight, 5 to 10 p.m. at the White Shanty in Provo with live music from Creep. Adults 21 and older event. PhoenixIsRisingEvents.com. The Jazz lost last night to the Phoenix Suns 129-115. Utah men's basketball also lost last night to the number 8 Arizona Wildcats. Not embarrassingly so, though, 105-99 for the Utes. And Weber State Wildcats beat the Portland State Vikings 84-72. Weather brought to you by Utah First Credit Union. Personal checking. Every feature comes standard. Learn more at utahfirst.com. It's cold. 50% chance of snow and lots more the more north you go. We heard from a friend of the program driving to Idaho. That's going to be...
Sardine Canyon apparently is just horrible.
Sardine Canyon is horrible. Weber Canyon. Parley's Canyon, also horrible. It might be one of those mornings where I can't tell you specific accidents because there's too many. But if you're seeing something and want to share it with us, you can do that. 33986. You owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, multiple unfiled years. Contact McClure and Stewart for a free consultation. Go to McClureandStewart.com today.
Well, Frank Christ.
Oh, hello.
Good morning. I wasn't just you startled me this morning.
No one is ever expecting me.
Frank Christ has joined us in the studio. Frank is he's a Grim Reaper.
Well, and we need a contestant to play the game.
So let me tell you what the prize is.
877-602-9696 if you want to play Frank Christ Presents and win this prize.
It's tickets to see The Last Dinner Party. They are a great girl band coming to the complex on August 7th.
So simple. All you have to do as a contestant is determine who the dead celebrity is on this list that Frank has given me. But, Frank, I know it's very difficult for you to do these things.
I hate my job because I'm just like the rest of you.
Well, you love the celebrities.
I love our precious celebrities.
That's the curse. He forever has to take precious celebrities
Everything
to the
they say and
distribution
do is right.
I know. Frank Chris Presents, they're fine. They're just fine.
Yeah.
I've got 4 celebrities here. 3 of them on the list are...
They're fine. They're just fine.
But one of them is dead, and the contestant has to pick the dead one. Yes. Because it's National Owen Day, these are all famous Owens. People with the name Owen.
Well, Jenna is here to play.
Jenna, good morning. How are you?
Fine. I'm just fine.
Good. Jenna, where are you calling from?
The music's a little loud. Is there a way to turn it down?
The Frank's music is kind of loud, is it? Okay. Where are you?
Thank you.
Okay.
There you go. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Centerville.
Okay. I'm going to read you these celebrities, famous Owens. You tell me the dead one, and you will get those tickets to see The Last Dinner Party. Here we go. Number one. Number 1 is Clive Owen. Clive Owen played leading roles in films like Sin City, Derailed, Inside Man, Children of Men, and The International. He played Dr. John W. Thackeray on the Cinemax medical drama series The Nick. Number 1, famous Owen, Clive Owen. Number 2, Owen Hale, best known for playing drums with Lynyrd Skynyrd on their album 20 and the Live from Steeltown. And the Live from Steeltown DVD concert. He was also a busy studio drummer in Nashville, appearing on many records by Patti Loveless, Doug Stone, Toby Keith, among others. Number 2, famous Owen Hale. Number 3, Reginald Owen, a British actor. He played Ebenezer Scrooge in a film version of the Charles Dickens Christmas Carol. Owen was one of several actors to play both Sherlock Holmes and his companion, Dr. Watson. He was Watson in Sherlock Holmes, starring Clive Brooke, and as Holmes, he was in Holmes in A Study in Scarlet. He was in the Disney films Mary Poppins and Bedknobs and Broomsticks. Number 3, Reginald Owen. And number 4, Owen Wilson. Had a long association with filmmaker Wes Anderson. He shared writing and acting credits for Bottle Rocket, Rushmore, The Royal Tenenbaums, many others. He also starred in Woody Allen's romantic comedy Midnight in Paris. Number 4, Owen Wilson. Which famous Owen is dead, Jenna?
I think it's number 3, right?
You're right, Reginald Owen. He died in 1972 at the age of 85. He had a heart attack. He was in Boise, Idaho, and he is buried in Boise, Idaho.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
So there you go. Congratulations. You win.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hang on the line.
Celebrities should be buried in Hollywood.
I don't know what an old British actor was doing in Boise, Idaho, but there he
I
died.
guess you got to get him in the ground before he goes.
Another weird story about Reginald Owen. When the Beatles came to America and they were going to play the Hollywood Bowl, nobody would rent them a house. And Reginald Owen said, well, you can stay in my mansion.
That was very nice.
Yes.
All right, I have to run.
What?
Joe Pesci is 81 today. I just want to leave that there.
Better
Goodbye,
hurry.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Hurry.
A crash northbound I-15, 123rd South in Salt Lake. Right shoulder affected there. Lots of accidents in Box Elder County. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up there. Also, earlier, jackknife semi, westbound I-80. This is in Parley's Canyon. 3 right lanes are closed. That's going to be an issue for a while in Parley's. Traction devices are needed if you're trying to get up Big and Little Cottonwood Canyons. Just be aware that weather could affect your commute this morning, especially if you're headed from here to Idaho or maybe up to Logan, Cache Valley, that area. Pretty bad up there. Phoenix is Rising Events presents a dance party tonight, 5 to 10 p.m. at the White Shanty in Provo with live music from Creep. Adults 21 and older event, phoenixisrisingevents.com.
All right. Thank you very much. We're going to take a break. We will be back. Sean Means reviewing movies right after these, so stand by. Black Velvet Boutique, Gina.
Yeah, we're doing these ads because it's Valentine's Day and you think about this, but Black Velvet Boutique has been around for a long time helping folks have good sex. Yes, it's one of life's great pleasures. Creating intimate connections in the bedroom often requires good communication, but sometimes telling our partners what we want or how we want it might be a little awkward. The expert staff at Black Velvet Boutique, they're available to you as a sexual resource. They're available to answer your questions discreetly, provide suggestions. It's a safe space, too. It's an all-female staff at Black Velvet Boutique. They pride themselves on having a judgment-free atmosphere. You can feel comfortable shopping at Black Velvet Boutique. Visit them for intimate bedroom toys, lingerie, massage oils, books. Enjoy the best parts about being an adult at Black Velvet Boutique. They're locally owned and operated. I've met the owners. They're all women, not just that work there, but the owners are women too. They've had this store since 2000. They're open 7 days a week, 595 South State Street in Clearfield, or you can go to blackvelvetboutique.com.
Hi, I'm Dominic, and I'm...
It's often said that people of Utah speak a language all their own. It's a language that's often confusing and even incomprehensible to newcomers here in the Beehive State. So, Radio from Hell presents a handy guide to help everyone understand how the natives speak. It's the Utah word of the day, and today's word is...
Druthernuther. D-R-U-T-H-E-R-N-U-T-H-E-R. Druthernuther. And now, to use this fine compound word in a sentence, we call upon LeVar and LeGrand to work their magic and show you how this very complex Utah word works in conversation. Here the boys are debating the virtues of various Halloween treats. and which treats it was the best to get when they were young trick-or-treaters. The word is druthernother.
Heck fire, LeGrand. It sure is a sad one this year. Halloween's coming. It looks like the government ain't going to allow trick-or-treating, and the kids is going to be so sad when we have to tell them.
Well, it sure is. Dang old government anyway. I mean, can they legally do that? Just cancel Halloween without a second thought?
LeGrand, if the feds can make you cover up your smile with a COVID mask, they sure as heck can cancel Halloween.
I suppose. But you know, the kids would be wearing masks just like the government wants them to, so why not let them go house to house begging for candy?
I'll tell you why, my friend. Socialism, that's why. Halloween reeks of socialism, and the government wants to stamp that stuff out. You see, if they allow Halloween, all the kids will be sharing treats equally from the Halloween Candy Collective. Not acceptable. Children need to learn the value of work whereby they earn the candy.
Well, looks like no Halloween goodies for me this year. I always like raiding the kids' candy haul when they went to bed. You too?
Oh, me too. I'm going to miss my yearly popcorn ball.
What? Some cheapo jerk in your neighborhood tries to save money by making popcorn balls and then give them an outfit of candy?
That cheapo jerk is me, LeGrand. But we don't do it to save money. My wife, Carol, makes great popcorn balls once a year for Halloween. They're great. It's the only time I get one. And everyone in the neighborhood is crazy for them.
No one is crazy for popcorn balls, LeVar. But that's not as bad as the guy in my neighborhood who gives out bouillon cubes. Can you believe it? Them individual foil-wrapped bouillon cubes. Ain't that awful?
I don't know. Depends. Chicken or beef bouillon cubes.
And the dentist down the street who gives out toothbrushes. I mean, geez, I don't want cubes or balls or brushes. I want Halloween candy, except for Smarties. I don't want Smarties. You got a favorite Halloween treat?
Well, I'm somewhat partial to Bit-O-Honey, but nobody gives out Bit-O-Honey anymore.
Did they ever? Bit-O-Honey?
Yeah.
Jeez. No, what you want for Halloween is candy bars. Full-size candy bars if possible, but any kind of candy bar is better than... Jeez, you kidding me with Bit-O-Honey?
I swear I got Bit-O-Honey a long time ago. One time in another city that I was at.
Right, yeah. How about Almond Joy, though? Now, some people don't like them, but I do. I love Almond Joy. I'd rather have Almond Joy than a Mounds, though. I think it's because the dark chocolate turns me away from the Mounds. I'm a milk chocolate guy.
Okay, well, then here's a choice for you. Twixt or Butterfinger?
No, I don't eat anything that has the word finger in it.
Oh.
How about this? Which would you druther? Milky Way, Snickers, or Moore's Boar?
I'd rather not have any of them.
Well, what do you mean, not any of them? You should pick one.
I don't have to. When it comes back to those particular Halloween candy choices, I'd rather another.
Join us again some other time as we examine how the Utah natives speak with the Utah Word of the Day.
Yeah, like Heather in Springville did.
Springville? Home of the Red Devils.
Yes.
Springville. All right. Sean Means brought to you by.
Are you trying to not be bored? Pick up a board game from Haster Games. They have board games, Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, miniatures, dice, paints, and more. 6831 South State and online at hastergames.com.
Well, Sean Means has entered the studio. He's here to talk about some movies that have opened and what he thinks of them. Why, he's a movie critic. That's why he does that. He's also the culture editor of the Salt Lake Tribune. You can read the Salt Lake Tribune online if you like, sltrib.com. And you can read Sean's movie reviews mostly at moviecricket.net. Good morning.
Good morning.
What do we got?
Well, it's Super Bowl weekend, so the movie studios kind of take the week off. Sunday is their third busiest day of the week. They know nobody's going to be going to movies on Sunday because they're going to be watching the game. So you don't have a lot going on. The big studio movie this week, they didn't screen for critics around here. Lisa Frankenstein.
Oh, really?
This is about a young woman who decides that if she can't find a boyfriend, she'll make one instead. Just like the Grinch with reindeer.
Sure.
And somebody's kid made this movie. Who is it?
Zelda Williams.
Yeah, that's right.
Daughter of Robin Williams. The screenplay is Diablo Cody, who we know from Jennifer's Body and Juno and so on. And the cast is Catherine Newton, who was in the last Ant-Man movie. She's Cassie.
Oh, yeah.
And she was in Detective Pikachu. We like her. And Cole Sprouse from Riverdale.
Okay.
He's
the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
If you want to go back that far, yeah.
He's the Frankenstein monster.
Yeah, but you can't drool over him then.
Oh yeah, he's a little kid.
It gets
weird.
Gina could. It gets weird. Anyway, they didn't screen that, so I have no idea.
All right. Well,
all right.
Look around.
The reviews I've been hearing are not good.
Me too.
All right. Yeah. So let's go to Out of Darkness.
I can talk about this one. Out of Darkness. This is a horror thriller set in the Stone Age.
What? Oh, really?
Seriously, it's 45,000 years ago, it says on the title card. You have 6 people in a hunter-gatherer group on some barren, windswept heath. They filmed it in Scotland, so yeah. And surviving the elements, would be scary enough for these folks, but they realize that they're being watched and being pursued, and something is out there in the shadows, out there in the dark.
Really?
That's maybe trying to get them. So, just outside the range of their campfire. That's your movie.
That's
basically.
the movie.
That's it. This is really well constructed. The light and shadow, really. I mean, the cinematography is great. It sort of build up the tension of all the stuff going on in the dark. And the ancient humans, they feel very authentic. They even have their own language.
I was going to ask about that.
They made up a language. They made up a language in the movie. Roughly, the trivia I said it was basically it's derived from Basque. So like northern Spain.
Okay.
But this is their own language, and so there's subtitles.
Okay.
And the end of the movie delivers the kind of moral you used to find in old Twilight Zone episodes. So when you find out who the real monster is.
I like this.
Yeah.
So it's entertaining.
It's pretty good. 3 stars for Out of Darkness, and it's playing at a few theaters around town.
3 stars. Well then, Suncoast.
Suncoast. Yeah, this is my favorite. This was my favorite movie at Sundance this year. And just a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
And it's not. This is not in theaters. This is on Hulu.
I was going to say, how are they getting this out so fast?
Yeah,
after Sundance?
they had it planned. But yeah, it's on Hulu starting today. Suncoast is based on the director's life. She lived in Florida with her mom and her brother. And her brother was in a vegetative state from brain cancer.
And this one, yeah.
2005, they moved her brother to a hospice because it was getting close to the end. He was going to go soon. And it turned out to be the same hospice where Terry Schiavo was living at the end of her life. And for those who don't remember, Terry Schiavo was in a persistent vegetative state for 15 years.
Her husband wanted to...
Husband decided it was time to stop the feeding tube and let her die a natural death. And that's when all the Christian evangelicals decided they were going to stick their nose where they didn't belong.
Her parents did not want
her parents, and then it became a thing, and George W. Bush and Jeb Bush got into it. And
it became nationwide.
Became a big national...
And what's his name? The Speaker of the House.
Yeah. And they all diagnosed her via videotape. And
Look,
all kinds
she
of stuff.
follows the balloon with her eyes.
Yeah, she follows the balloon.
So your story here is you have a 17-year-old girl who's living with that going on in her peripheral vision, trying to basically have a semi-normal high school life, parties, trying to be popular, all that. And she's dealing with her mother, who's played by Laura Linney, who's hyper-focused on her brother during these last days. The director-writer, Laura Chen, she really captures this moment well, and placing it as the background for this girl's coming-of-age story is really emotional, really smart. I have to talk about the young actress, though. Her name's Nico Parker.
Okay.
She's really sweet. She's really charming. She's really nicely understated in this role. They gave her a special jury prize at Sundance for breakthrough performance.
Nice.
If she looks a little familiar, she was Colin Farrell's daughter in Dumbo, the Tim Burton Dumbo.
I didn't
She
see
played her
that.
daughter as a little girl. She also her real life mom is Tandy Newton.
Oh.
So is she beautiful?
Oh,
then?
beautiful, and is about as thin as a pencil.
Yeah. Tandy Newton weighs 3 pounds.
Yeah. Don't turn the air. Don't turn the air conditioning on around them. Yeah. There are some results. She's
cool.
really good.
That's
she's
great.
Really good. So yeah, Nico Parker.
Keep an eye on her.
Keep an eye on her.
Does Florida have it play into this in any way?
I mean, it is set in Florida, and
I mean, does it intent? I mean, I don't know. Sometimes location has a lot to do.
Right.
with
I mean, they actually filmed it in South Carolina, but it's very much. It's very much feels like a Florida thing, and not just all the not just all the jokes and everything. But it's the other character that's in this, Woody Harrelson, plays a protester who she actually kind of befriends and chats with and stuff. So, and he's very sweet. So yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, this was my favorite movie from Sundance this year. 4 stars.
All right.
Oh,
the rare
Sean means 4 stars.
And
it's on Hulu.
First one of the year. And it's on Hulu. You can watch it right now.
Now I'm being asked: is Nico Parker, Tandy's daughter, was she Pedro Pascal's daughter in The Last of Us, or is that a different daughter?
I think she was in The Last of Us.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
I know exactly.
That's where
who
we
that
see
is.
her then. Yeah.
I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was thinking of another.
Pedro Pascal's daughter.
Not Ellie, but
Yeah.
Yeah, the girl that dies.
Oh, right at the beginning. Yeah.
She's in like one
Spoiler.
episode.
Yeah.
I haven't watched the show yet.
Oh, yeah.
Well, she's only in one episode.
I haven't watched most shows yet, so that's all right.
You watch these kind of shows.
I go to movies. I don't stay at home and watch TV.
There you go. All right, so next week.
Next week, we got 3 movies opening on Valentine's Day.
Oh, really?
On Wednesday. So, yeah, we have Madam Web, the Dakota Johnson and the Spider-Man adjacent movie.
I'm predicting boring, but that's just because it's Dakota Johnson.
The screening is on a Monday afternoon, and I can't play hooky, so I'm not going to find out.
All right.
And which will be another. I have this long track record of never seeing Dakota Johnson movies. Because, in part because when I was covering Sundance full time, I would always take 2 weeks off in February after that.
Oh,
which meant I missed a lot of Valentine's movies.
And she usually...
and every 50 Shades of Grey movie I missed.
Oh, there you go.
I've never seen any of them, so yeah.
Right, okay.
I mean, next week also Bob Marley, One Love, biopic of Bob Marley, the reggae superstar, and then the Valentine's movie for next week is The Taste of Things.
What's that?
This is a beautiful French movie about a rich guy and his cook and the interplay they have making a perfect meal. Juliette Binoche as the cook.
She's lovely.
Yes.
And watching them making food is the most beautiful thing. It is. Yeah. Yes, it is.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sean Means, sltrib.com and moviecricket.net.
Thank you very much, sir. All right, traffic, Gina.
Box Elder County is a mess. Don't go there if you can help it.
I've always said that.
Bacchus Highway, 118th South Salt Lake. There's a crash there. Northbound I-15 milepost 291, 123rd South. Crash there. Traction devices in effect for Big and Little Cottonwood Canyons. Parley's Canyon. Earlier jackknifed semi westbound I-80 right close to Kimball Junction. 3 right lanes closed there, so Parley's is not your friend right now. I would avoid that if you can. And what are you seeing out on the road? You can text us and let us know. 33986. Become a nurse in just 32 months at Nightingale College, blending online classes with on-ground supervised field experience. Virtual college, actual nursing. Start your nursing journey at nightingale.edu. Now accepting enrollment for spring semester.
We got boners coming up. Here are the candidates you'll vote for. Number 1, the kids come home from daycare and all they want to do is nap. Boner candidate number 2 is the Prime Minister wants to make Great Britain great again. And boner candidate number 3, he must be a migrant because somebody told me he was a migrant.
All right. Boner of the day, big boy news, all coming up after the standby. UtahAdvocates.com.
Oh, man, they're going to be busy today.
I'll say.
So many accidents and fender benders and worse. And if you are in an accident, please, I hope you're not today or any time. But if you are and you know it's not your fault, this is who you need to call, the advocates.
Now, a lot of times they're going to be making sure that your insurance company does the right thing, because your insurance company, they're trying to keep all the money.
Yeah. Either that or the person that hit you. Don't worry that you're not suing that little old lady.
Yeah.
You're getting her insurance company to take care of the bills that you're entitled to have taken care of.
And the advocates don't charge you any money out of pocket. No, not a dime out of pocket, not for the phone call, not for all the work they do. They don't charge you anything. Then when you get a settlement, then they take a portion of that. So call them, 801-355-5550. That's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 801-355-5550, or UtahAdvocates.com. List?
I have one.
I've got one too.
Well,
it's the 7 reasons the juicy steak will kill you.
What?
That's for you, Gina. No?
Sounds terrible.
What-
I don't want that list.
What's yours?
Oh, that's, yeah.
Well, my list is things you might not know about the Antichrist.
Oh, that's the one. That's the one.
That's the one.
It's Radio from Hell with another list, because people love a good list. X96.
I'll just email you the
The
7
I'm
reasons.
not opening it.
7 reasons a juicy steak could kill you. And now let's see how much we do know about the Antichrist.
Okay. How many times is the Antichrist mentioned in the Bible?
Once.
I don't know.
Only 4 times.
4 times.
And they are all in John.
John had a relationship, did he?
John has several antichrists, and he refers to antichrist as just people that don't believe in Jesus. Not
Really?
like,
That's all it takes?
Yeah, not like a.
Not like the
There's
devil.
not a personification of.
Yeah.
All right.
So if you're trying to go to the Bible for antichrist information, not a lot there, actually.
Interesting.
Well, there's a lot of stuff about Satan.
Satan and Antichrist are
Not the same?
not the same thing.
All right.
Oh.
Okay.
Let's see. The concept of the Antichrist wasn't written about until a monk wrote about it in 950 A.D. because the Bible didn't dive into it, and he said, "I'm gonna take a look at this Antichrist thing." According to this monk, he said the Antichrist will be born in Babylon and will appear at the end of the Holy Roman Empire and will be Jewish because Jesus is Jewish, so the Antichrist would have to also be Jewish.
That's just logic.
Yeah. So they thought he would come back and fool people into thinking it was the second coming of Jesus. So again, this is not the devil.
That's confusing. I always just considered that the devil was the Antichrist.
No.
I thought the Antichrist was the son of the devil.
Now, see? Things you didn't know.
See, we're learning here.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
So another theory is that there have been many Antichrists.
Oh, yeah.
Nero, Napoleon,
Shatner.
Ronald Reagan, Obama.
Okay.
Orange 45.
Now, Martin Luther really, really locked in with the Antichrist.
Oh, he specialized?
Well, he said the Pope was the Antichrist.
Oh, and that's why yeah.
And he said the whole thing, now you guys know what indulgences are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where you can pay to get your sins taken away.
Right. And he said, he said that's your proof right there that the Pope, who said that was okay.
Compelling argument, Martin Luther.
Because a real Jesus lover would never make you pay to get rid of your sins.
Do Catholics still do that? Can you
No.
buy indulgences?
I mean, no.
Wasn't there talk in the news recently about him bringing them back?
Like you could just pay to get rid of your sins?
Yeah.
No, I don't remember.
Something to do with Canada.
Nietzsche talked about the Antichrist. In fact, he published a book in 1895 called The Antichrist.
Okay.
There is an Antichrist in Islam, but not in the Quran. It's just sort of a folklore. Now, Jesus in Islam is just a prophet. He's not.
Jesus is in the Quran.
Yeah. But he's just a prophet, just like Abraham and everything. He's just another one. So they like Jesus. They just don't think he's the one.
Yeah.
They're cool with Jesus.
Sure.
But in Islam's version of the Antichrist,
okay,
they describe what he looks like.
That's what I was just going to ask. Right. What does he look like?
Well, in Islam, He is a plump, one-eyed man with a ruddy face and curly hair.
I know that guy.
I worked for him.
Let's see. Obama's the Antichrist. Let's see. Let me skip through these. Some believe that anti-Semitism comes from not just Jews killed Jesus, like people say, but the fact that the Antichrist is supposed to be Jewish. So they said this theory of the Antichrist has led to lots of anti-Semitism. Again, even though it only appears in the Bible passingly, and just is talking about people that don't believe in Jesus.
And then again, the fact that all of this is made up.
Well,
it is fan fiction.
Let's see. I'm skipping.
It's not like the Bible is a history book, really.
It's not what your modern day GOP thinks.
Yeah.
The Beatles are the Antichrist.
Beatles are the Antichrist?
Yeah, they are too.
I would have swore it was the Rolling Stones.
Nope, it's the Beatles.
But the Stones had sympathy for the devil.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
And goat's head soup.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Revelations.
The book of Revelations.
All right.
Attributes a number to the beast. Quote,
666.
let the person who has insight calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and that number is 666.
You know what 665 is, don't you? It's the neighbor of the beast.
Of the beast.
I always like that joke.
That's about it. That's the list there.
Oh, we should have gone with the 7 reasons a juicy steak will kill you. It would have been more useful.
The Antichrist will. Do you know what the 666 phobia? If you have a phobia of that number, what it's called?
Triskaidekaphobia.
No, that's 13.
Oh, that's 13. No, I can't remember.
Hexacosio hexacontella hexaphobia.
Huh. That's easy for you to say.
Mm-hmm.
Did you pronounce that right?
No, I'm sure I didn't. Number 666, thank you, Carrie, for this.
Oh, of course.
Is not the only thing that's been linked to the Antichrist. The Beatles, Procter & Gamble, many brands, bands, images, and acronyms have been dubbed satanic.
Procter & Gamble has the, I don't know if they still have it, but they had this little symbol on all their products.
A moon or something.
Yeah, moon with some stars around it. And people said that's, a satanic Antichrist symbol. And there were people, and I worked with a guy who swore that he saw it on television, on one of the daytime
on
talk
Oprah.
shows.
That was
that the head of Procter and Gamble, the CEO, said, "Well, yeah, sure."
No, it was not a thing. He didn't see that.
Yeah, it was Jeff Robinette.
Of course.
Yeah, this says a company spent decades battling false claims it was in league with the devil, Procter & Gamble. If you were alive in 1982, you might remember a very special episode of, it's the Phil Donahue Show.
That's right, Phil Donahue,
yeah.
The president of Procter & Gamble went on the program and admitted that the company supported the Church of Satan.
Jeff said he swore he saw that show.
No, he didn't. That it never happened then it pivoted to Oprah. Oh no, it wasn't Donahue, it was Oprah. Oh yeah, he was on that. No,
exactly.
Never happened.
But all you have to do is say things.
Yeah. Well, we've learned more about the Antichrist, and that's what I like about this show is learning.
Yeah. Was that little kid in the Omen, the
Damien?
Antichrist? Damien? Was he the Antichrist?
He's supposed to be,
in that version of the fan fiction, yeah. But you knew that.
Maybe you didn't if it's your 6th birthday.
Huh?
What?
we got a text from someone who said, it's Eva's 6th birthday. She's in the car right now. She loves the boners. She always votes. That might be the first time Eva has heard Talking Heads. And Mom or Dad, whoever sent that in, congratulations for introducing Eva to good music like Talking Heads.
And,
Happy birthday, Eva.
We've got a texter who says they're sending us 3 of the brand new Utah State flags, and they'll arrive in the mail on Monday.
Excellent.
Oh, we got the address to them?
Yeah.
I'll make sure it's prominently displayed behind me on my flag wall here.
I'm going to hang mine up at my new desk.
I'm going to wrap myself in mine.
Oh, good. All right. Time for Boner of the Day. 3 news stories. These are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior. You will decide with your vote. Of these 3 candidates, which one is the worst? Which one deserves to be Boner of the Day for today, February 9, 2024? We'll give you 2 candidates now, a third after the news. Once you've heard all 3, you'll vote. One of you lucky random boner voters will receive.
Can't buy it, got to win it. Radio from Hell Boner t-shirt.
Boner candidate number 1 is, the kids come home from daycare and, all they want to do is nap. A former Indiana daycare director has been sentenced to 6 months in jail after admitting she gave melatonin gummies to the kids ahead of nap time without parental consent. Tanya Rochelle Voris began her jail term after the sentencing Friday, coming a month after the 54-year-old woman pleaded guilty to 11 felony counts of neglect of a dependent and 6 misdemeanor counts of reckless supervision of a child by a care provider. Ms. Voris was the director of the New Life Church's Kids Life Child Care Ministry near Indianapolis when police began investigating about possible child neglect at the daycare center. A probable cause affidavit states that a month prior, a parent had asked Ms. Voris to give their child a specific amount of pediatric strength melatonin ahead of nap time. This gave Ms. Voris the idea, I'll just give it to all the kids.
They'll take a nice 4-hour nap, and I won't have to take care of them.
Around this time, parents began reporting out-of-character behavior among their children who went to the daycare, including increased sleepiness, headaches, and bedwetting, according to the prosecutor's office. The investigation soon revealed employees had given 17 children melatonin gummies at different times, all without the knowledge of parents and under the instruction of Ms. Voris. When confronted about the allegation, Voris and her husband became defensive, leading the child care director to be terminated from her position and served charges a month after the investigation. She initially pleaded not guilty to the charges, but changed her plea to guilty. And now she will spend 6 months in the Hancock County Jail. Boner candidate number 1. The kids come home from daycare now. All they want to do is nap. Here's Boner candidate number 2. The Prime Minister, he wants to make Great Britain great again. He's Prime Minister. He's of Great Britain. What is that? MG, that would be MGBGR, GA. Megba.
I don't know what
he's a Magba. He's a Magba.
Just call him MAGA.
Yeah, he's a MAGA person.
It's become a mindset now.
It's UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak. He's like the 6th Prime Minister in the last 2 years or something. A conservative. Mounting pressure Wednesday, he is mounting pressure to apologize for a remark that he made about transgender people moments after he was informed that the mother of a murdered transgender teenager was in the parliament at the time of his comments.
It was like 90 seconds later.
During his weekly questioning in the House of Commons, Sunak sought to mock the position of Labour Party leader on the definition of a woman. In response to a question from Keir Starmer, Prime Minister Sunak listed a series of issues that he said showed that the Labour leader making about faces, ending with a quip about his stance on defining a woman, although in fairness, that was only 99% of a U-turn, said Sunak. His remark was intended to embarrass Starmer, who Sunak's Conservatives have accused of vacillating on the issue of self-identification and who have pounced on the comment last year that 99.9% of women haven't got a penis. Starmer, who had welcomed the mother of Brianna Gray, Esther, I think it's Gay, G-H-E-Y, Esther Gay, was visibly furious in response. He said the comments were inappropriate, and Sunak later acknowledged Ms. Gay's presence, hailing her compassion and empathy. But
not yours.
He failed to apologize. Of all the weeks to say that, when Brianna's mother is in this chamber, shame, said Starmer, parading as a man of integrity when he's got absolutely no responsibility at all. Brianna's father, Peter Spooner, said that he was shocked to hear the remark and urged Sunak to apologize. Boner candidate number 2, the Prime Minister wants to make Great Britain great again. He's the MAGA Prime Minister. Coming up in a moment, Boner candidate number 3, well, he must be a migrant because somebody told me he was a migrant.
All right. We got Boner candidate number 3 coming up after this. Big Boy News and Opinnuendo brought to you by
Feldman's Deli, Utah's authentic Jewish deli with expanded hours, now open Tuesday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 8:30 p.m., breakfast till 10:30, lunch, dinner, live music Fridays and Saturdays. More information at feldmansdeli.com.
It's unlikely that at some point Martin Scorsese will decide to tell his own life story through a movie, but that doesn't mean that other people can't do it. Titan Comics announced on Screen Rant that award-winning artist Amazing Amazane is working on Martin Scorsese, a graphic novel that chronicles the life and career of the legendary filmmaker.
Does he have magical eyebrows? Is that
probably? The biography is set to hit shelves October 15th of this year. Even though Scorsese will take a first-person approach to telling the story through its pages, the graphic novel is a fictional account of the director's life. Like his previous work, Amazing Amazane, I think it is, decided to narrate the graphic novel through the subject's point of view in order to get a closer perspective that feels more intimate to the reader. I'm trying to see what some of the other things that this person has done. You don't recognize the name, do you, Carrie?
No.
Amazing Amazane. But it's... let's see, it's not listed here. So, and Piers Morgan has lost his TV show.
He has?
Yeah. He's pivoting to the digital platform. He's giving up his live daily hour-long evening news show for a YouTube-first digitally native broadcast consisting of heated debates, sprawling interviews, spicy monologues.
So wait, you said he's lost it. Was he fired or is he choosing
He says
to
he's
do
giving
this?
it up. I think he's been.
I think he's been
said,
like,
you're not going to do it anymore.
Yeah.
But he's trying to put a good face on it. I decided I no longer wanted to create my show for linear television. I just wanted,
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, he was kind of.
Go away.
Yeah, go away. Let's see. A bill that expands which behaviors could be prosecuted as lewdness involving a child does not mention the word drag in the Utah State Legislature, but St. George Republican Representative Colin Jack's focus on such performances was apparent at a committee hearing yesterday or Wednesday. Sitting in front of the House Law Enforcement and Criminal Justice Committee, Jack described images that he said constituents sent lawmakers over the past year. One, he said, was of a shirtless person wearing sequin pants near a child with a microphone sticking out of the zipper of the pants. Another said, Jack said, pictured a boy dressed as a girl giving lap dances in a coffee shop. Lewdness involving a child amendments, or House Bill 424, would add several instances in which someone could be charged for lewdness involving a child under the age of 14. It would criminalize people who performs any act of lewdness with intent. This could be this would target drag shows.
Yeah.
It would target the Pride Parade.
Pride Parade. I was going to say, yeah.
This is Jack is he's
Jack, we got bigger problems in the state.
Well, he knows that, Kerry. He's also he's from the coal industry, and he's trying to make sure that we don't lose coal. So there you go. Utah teachers. Utah public school teachers or employees found to keep certain banned books available to students could be held criminally liable, according to a newly proposed bill. West Jordan Republican Ken Ivory introduced House Bill 417 that would allow teachers and other public school employees to be charged with a Class A misdemeanor if they keep materials specifically deemed objectively sensitive.
God bless you, teachers. I don't know why any of you continue to teach here.
Coming up,
really don't.
Coming up in a few minutes, as a matter of fact, we're going to talk to a public school librarian. See what she thinks about all of this.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. Hunter Lamoureux has pleaded guilty to murder after shooting his neighbor multiple times on the neighbor's front porch in May of 2022. According to charging documents, Lamoureux told police he'd been planning to kill his neighbor, Gregory Schaefer, for 2 months, as he was upset regarding a pending divorce and custody battle between the victim and Schaefer's estranged wife. Hunter stated he did not feel the victim deserved custody of his children. When Lamoureux walked onto Schaefer's porch, this is in Provo, by the way, he told officers in a recorded interview that he heard the TV on inside. He continued knocking until Schaefer answered the door. Lamoureux asked Schaefer for a glass of water, and when Schaefer came back with a glass, Lamoureux said, "I began shooting. I just cocked it, and I started firing. I wanted to make sure he was dead." So that pretty well seals the deal, doesn't it? Let's see. Famed climate scientist, a guy named Michael Mann, has won his long-standing legal battle against 2 right-wing bloggers who claimed that he manipulated data in his research and compared him to convicted child molester Jerry Sandusky. This is a major victory for this outspoken researcher. A jury in a civil trial in Washington on Thursday found that the 2 writers, Rand Simberg and Mark Stein, defamed and injured the researcher in a pair of blog posts published in 2012, and they awarded him more than $1 million. I hope this verdict sends a message that falsely attacking climate scientists is not protected speech, Mann said in a statement. His victory comes amid heightened attacks on scientists working not just on climate change, but also on vaccines and other issues. There's a story here that I had yesterday that I didn't get to about healthcare workers talking about how many times they're assaulted by people these days.
I'll bet, yeah.
People slugging them, throwing urine on them, things like that.
Yeah, I'll say the same thing about them as I do about teachers.
yeah.
God bless you. I don't know why.
And a radio station in Alabama was forced to go silent because thieves stole its 200-foot radio tower.
What?
The station, WJLX, sent a landscaping crew to the site Monday morning for spring cleaning, and their radio tower was gone. What do you mean the tower's gone? Are you sure you're in the right place? Said Brett Elmore, the station manager. There's wires all over the ground, but the tower is gone. Somebody's
selling it for scrap?
Wow. Probably. 200-foot tower. Every piece of equipment from the radio station building was stolen as well. All right, that's it.
Weather, traffic.
Brought to you by Experience the Magic and Enchantment of Cat and Cauldron, your premier destination for all things occult and metaphysical in Taylorsville, catandcauldron.com. It's cold, 34 right now, only going to get up to 39 for a high today, so we stay pretty cold all day long. Overnight lows in the 20s, so we have this 50% chance of snow throughout the day today. Overnight tonight into tomorrow, that should clear up. But we stay pretty cold for the weekend. Highs only in the mid-30s, overnight lows in the 20s, but no more snow after today. Traffic, we have crash, Bacchus Highway 118th South in Salt Lake. Also crash northbound I-15 123rd South in Salt Lake. Traction device laws in effect for Big and Little Cottonwood Canyons right now. And what are you seeing on the roads? That's right. I mean you. You are part of the Infiniteam if you're out there. Let us know. Text us if it's safe for you to do that. 33986. Phoenix's Rising Events presents a dance party tonight, 5 to 10 p.m. at the White Shanty in Provo with live music from Creep, adults 21 and older event, phoenixsrisingevents.com.
All right, here's boner candidate number 3. Well, he must be a migrant because somebody told me he was a migrant. It happened a couple of days ago.
Yep.
Guardian Angels founder Curtis Sliwa was being interviewed live from Times Square on Tuesday night by Sean Hannity. Ooh. When their exchange took a startling turn. This is an account of it in the New York Times. The topic was what both men seemed to agree was a migrant-fueled wave of crime and chaos that they claimed had overtaken New York amid a surge of arrivals into the city from the southern border over the past 2 years. Suddenly, Mr. Sliwa had a prime-time example. As he spoke, the half-dozen red-jacketed Guardian Angels flanking him slipped out of the frame of the camera. Our guys have just taken down one of these migrant guys right here on the corner of 42nd and 7th, where all this is taking place, Sliwa said, pointing off camera. Can you pan the camera? Mr. Hannity asked his cameraman. The cameraman swung around and captured the Angels confronting a slightly built man, very thin. He was wearing a hooded sweatshirt. They threw him to the ground and put him in a headlock. He's out of control, Sliwa said as the camera turned away, and Hannity shifted to criticizing Biden over his administration's policies. You know, now what's not clear here in this account is the camera went to and showed the assault by the Guardian Angels. somebody's yelling in Hannity's earpiece, "Don't show this on camera." And the camera spins back around, and Hannity starts criticizing President Biden over border policies. On Wednesday, police said the man was not a migrant. He was a legal resident of the Bronx.
Yes.
They also said he'd been issued a summons for disorderly conduct after trying to disrupt the interview for being loud and disorderly and threatening on a crowded sidewalk. But he wasn't charged with shoplifting, as Mr. Sliwa said he would be.
And he's brown, get him.
Yeah.
Is basically what. He must be.
Yeah.
I'm making assumptions by looking at him on what he
This is what happens when Eric Adams and the Republicans go to extreme lengths to scapegoat immigrants for every single problem they've been unable to solve, said Murad Aldawa, who is executive director of the New York Immigration Coalition. A spokesman for Mayor Adams declined to comment. Sliwa, by the way, has... in the past, he's admitted to making things up, that, the exploits of the guardian angels.
I want a lawyer to represent this person and sue Sliwa and Fox News and Hannity.
Someone will step up and
somebody do it, please.
They claimed he was shoplifting. He wasn't. That's boner candidate number 3.
Typical liberal.
But when Hannity, they asked Hannity how he was sure that this guy was a migrant. He said, well, somebody told me he was.
And I just looked at him.
Yeah.
He looks like a migrant.
Is it possible he wasn't a migrant? And he said, well, yes. Boner candidate number 3. He must be a migrant because somebody told me he was.
You showed an assault. Yeah. All right, anyway. Let's review the first 2 and vote.
Boner candidate number 1. The kids come home from daycare and all they want to do is nap. An Indiana daycare director at a Christian daycare center, the New Life Church, she's in jail because she was giving the kids melatonin. Boner candidate number 2. The Prime Minister wants to make Great Britain great again. He's the MAGA Prime Minister who made a transphobic remark in the presence of a woman whose trans daughter was murdered. And Boner candidate number 3. He must be a migrant because somebody told me he was a migrant.
All right. Time to vote for Boner of the Day. 1, 2, or 3. Remember your candidate number, the one that you think should win. Put that single digit in the message of a text. Text it to 33986. Or you can call Katie in the producer's booth at 877-602-9696. Use your voice to vote. She'll take it. Or go online, x96.com. Look for the box that says Boner of the Day, February 9, 2024. Click and vote. If you don't see that box, refresh your browser. It'll appear. Click and vote. You got 4 minutes to get your votes in. Don't forget, coming up at 8 o'clock, have another drink with Jimmy the Wine Guy. Beat Gina on the way as well. Stand by.
Listen to Radio from Hell and Home.
And now, a morsel of murder with Gina Barberi. Radio from Hell on X96.
A British man, they have murder there too.
Murder? Special murder there.
It seems fancier because it has an accent.
Mm-hmm.
A British man has been found guilty of murdering his friend following an argument about being woken up.
What?
Jimmy Moore, age 33, died after he was stabbed repeatedly by Robert Crabtree on the morning of Saturday, the 25th of September. The victim had been to the address to pick up Crabtree's brother for work, but he was not in, police said. Crabtree, 33, was convicted following a trial and will be sentenced on the 9th of September. His brother Ryan, 30, was convicted of perverting the course of justice after he helped cover up evidence. Essex police said Mr. Moore had thrown stones at a bedroom window trying to wake up his friend that he was supposed to pick up.
Like you do.
However, the brother was not home, and after shouting at Mr. Moore, Robert Crabtree armed himself with a knife and confronted him. Mr. Moore was stabbed repeatedly, and when he fell to the floor, was stabbed again before he managed to stagger back to his car, police said. He started driving away before collapsing at the wheel. Police were called, and officers found Mr. Moore in his car and said he died at the scene. In his first interview to police, Mr. Crabtree claimed that Mr. Moore was the aggressor, and it was only after he was assaulted that he went to get a knife. Ryan Crabtree claimed Mr. Moore was armed with mole grips. I don't know what those are.
Mole grips.
And had threatened his brother. However, police said CCTV footage did not show Jimmy with anything in his hands when the attack took place. That CCTV's everywhere, by the way. You can't get away with anything.
Yeah.
Ryan Crabtree was convicted after he helped his brother clean blood from the driveway and turned off their CCTV camera after the attack to limit available evidence. A deputy said perhaps what's most galling is that the dispute was over which Jimmy Moore lost his life was so innocuous, he just was trying to wake up his friend to take him to work. I told you I'd give you a ride to work.
Mole grips are like vice grips.
It's British murder.
Is that it?
Yeah.
No,
Isn't that enough?
My brother-in-law
Morsel.
is going to be involved in a murder podcast, I bet.
Really?
Yeah. He's from South Africa, and he was a lawyer in South Africa. He worked for an organization that was like the ACLU here. And he and another attorney, a woman in another office, got onto this case, and it was somebody was murdering children, and it was a serial killer, and murdered 35 children, shot them. And my brother-in-law and this other lawyer kind of broke the case, apparently. And he just got a call from the BBC. Now, this happened many years ago.
BBC, yeah.
But it's still a notorious, crime in South Africa. And the BBC called him and said, would you be interested in participating in a podcast about that?
The Beeb.
And I said, are you going to do it? And he said, well, yes, I think so.
Why not?
Yes.
Murder. He has a...
No?
He has a South African accent, which I can't replicate.
I can't do a South African.
Yeah. It's not British, but it ain't English either.
It's something foreign.
Yeah, you can tell he's a foreigner.
48, time to award Boner of the Day.
And the Boner of the Day is brought to you in part by Massaman Curry.
Ooh.
And Gracie's open daily for lunch and dinner, now serving brunch Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays till 3 p.m. Watch the 49ers battle the Chiefs in the big game on television Sunday, February 11th. At Gracie's, you must be 21 or older to enter.
Well, I don't know who won.
Oh.
I don't seem to have
get
those results.
We'll get it.
Boner candidate number one, the kids in the daycare getting melatonin when they weren't, we'll just make them sure they all sleep. Let's make sure they all sleep. Boner candidate number two, the MAGA Prime Minister of Great Britain, Rishi Sunak, who I'm predicting will soon be the former Prime Minister.
We'll be on to the 7th and the last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Boner candidate number three, he must be a migrant because, somebody told me he was a migrant. And the winner, the number one and number two got respectable votes, but the winner, Boner candidate number three, Curtis Lewa and Sean Hannity. Yep.
All right, there you go. That's your Boner of the Day for today, February 9, 2024. Now qualified to be Boner of the Week. That'll happen today when Dave the Flower Guy comes in and just tells us who Boner of the Week is.
Do we have Cindy
Yes.
on the... Cindy, are you there?
I am here.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm great.
Cindy is a school librarian in public school system.
You mean a groomer, Bill?
And and Cindy is a longtime friend of the program, and she contacted me yesterday, and I guess the House is going to, or they have approved legislation that would potentially make it quicker to pull books with sexual content from school library shelves, and also they're considering a bill that would they could penalize teachers if they continue to have the books in their classroom. Can you just address all of this as a school librarian, if you would?
Oh, yeah, I'll just address it all. So we're talking about two bills here. House Bill 29, which that is the one actually that has already passed through the House, and now it's in the Senate Education Committee. That is the one that does huge changes to the laws that govern sensitive materials. In fact, that's the one that makes it criminal. You know, with pornography charges up to or over $1,000 and mandatory incarceration for 30 days if you have push display pornography.
You mean
who decides what's pornography?
You mean like the book about the two male penguins that raised the
baby
penguin?
You know, I don't know if that's pornographic because it doesn't show like their butts, but they're really big on not showing butts in the pornography standards. I've been reading a lot about pornography lately. And then House Bill 417, which is still in committee, that actually is kind of weird. It says that if a book is in a school, then you cannot prevent anybody from reading it aloud in the board meetings.
Okay.
So right now...
What's the point of that?
It's kind of hard. What's the point of that? Well, because they want to be on record reading out loud what they consider to be the pornographic passages from books that are in school.
But there are books that you have that you wouldn't read out loud if you had a room full of kindergartners. They're trying to make the point of, see, if it's in the school, you should be able to read it in front of any kid, right? Is that the point they're trying to make?
Yes.
Well, that's stupid. That's stupid. Because you wouldn't do that.
No, you wouldn't. And that's the part about trusting librarians and trusting teachers to know what's appropriate for which kids. You guys have gone to...
I mean, but believe me, there are parts of the Bible you don't want me to read out loud. Okay?
Exactly. Right.
All parts of it I don't want you to read out loud.
Yes. So the House Bill 29 does something else weird. It actually defines library books as instructional materials. Which is a kind of a fine line because libraries have always been considered self-selection.
Yeah, meaning you go in and choose what you want to learn.
And you're not required to read anything if you don't want to.
Yeah.
But reclassifying library materials, specifically as instructional materials, means that we're subject actually to all these laws. It is also unconstitutional.
Yeah.
Or at least there have been laws in the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has already said that library materials are not.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, Cindy. How has all of this, as it's been going on for the last couple or 3 years, how has this changed your job as a librarian?
So, me personally, not really very much. But I have friends around me that are afraid.
Well, I mean, you're soon to be outlaw librarians.
Well, you could have $1,000 fine and spend time in jail with this one bill that she's talking about.
So why aren't you worried about that, Cindy?
Well, because I am a voracious reader, and I read everything that comes into my hands that I possibly can. And I teach middle school, and middle school books still tend to be sensitive to these kinds of things. And so I don't have a lot of materials in my library that would be pushing these boundaries.
I see.
I do have some picture books, on the other hand, that could get me in trouble.
In the Night Kitchen?
Yeah.
Yeah, that little naked Mikey, or is his name Mikey or Mickey?
I don't remember what his name is.
Famous
But I
book.
also have I need a new butt.
I need a new butt.
What's wrong with the butt you have?
Wait, let me get my Huey Lewis song out.
What does I need a new butt about?
Yeah, what's that?
It's about a boy that wants a new butt, so he goes around and tries on all kinds of different butts.
I want to read this now. I'm curious.
Like he wants a tail.
I can lend it to you.
And what? Yes, and are you sure?
Yeah,
you might get in trouble.
outlaw, yeah.
But let me just ask you. We got to go.
Isn't that ridiculous, though?
Yes. What's the point of that book, though? Just to be funny?
It's just to be funny. That's
okay.
the best kind of book.
All
be
right.
funny.
All right. Cindy, what should people do? Just call.
So people need to contact their senators right now about House Bill 29.
Okay.
Because that is supposed to be talked about today.
Vote no on 29.
It'd be great if it didn't get it out of committee.
All right. Vote no on 29.
Draconian.
So this butt. There's a series of these butt books. There's I need a new butt. I broke my butt. My butt is so noisy, and my butt is so silly.
It sounds like they're just
There you
funny.
go.
They're just kind of
They
little
look hilarious.
sophomoric little.
Yeah.
All right, 29. Contact your senators and say no on 29. All right, thank you.
Yeah,
Cindy.
that's the most important thing today.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
Thank you very
See you
much,
later.
Cindy.
Yes.
All right. Traffic, please.
Traffic and a giveaway. So after the traffic, stay tuned. I have a giveaway for you.
Okay.
Looks like not good things out by Saltaire. I have two different accidents westbound I-80, milepost 110 and milepost 107. Two accidents out there. Crash at the ramp eastbound I-215 south at 62nd South exit. It is off to the right shoulder. I think there's still some slowage from that earlier accident, 123rd South northbound I-15. That is off to the right shoulder. Utah winter roads are tough. If your Subaru gets in an unexpected accident, turn to Mark Miller Subaru's Collision Center. Visit markmillercollision.com for more information. Here is your giveaway.
All right.
It's almost Valentine's. X96 has your Valentine's gifts covered with great prizes every day. Today's prize, 2 tickets to see Group Love March 11th at the Depot. Plus, visit x96.com and enter to win our Valentine's grand prize, one of each daily prize. How do you win those Group Love tickets? Text the word Group Love, all one word, crash together, GROUPLOVE, Group Love to 33986 now to enter to win.
All right. Have another drink with Jimmy the Wine Guy right after these
I will.
messages. He's getting ice together, so it's some sort of chilled cocktail, I think it looks like. And then beat Gina coming up as well. Stand by for that. BigOTires.com.
Big O Tires, the team you trust. Let's see what the $160 in rebate savings on select sets of Michelin tires. Yeah, that's still on now through February 19th at Big O Tires.
Today you might be driving thinking, I haven't had my tires checked in a long time. I might need some new ones. Make an appointment at bigotires.com at any of their, 50?
50, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
there will
from,
be one near you.
From Beaver to Logan.
Looking for new tires, Big O has all the name brand tires that you could want, including the Big O brand.
Yeah.
And they have the lowest price on every tire every day. They also offer free tire rotations and flat repairs. Get to know the Big O Tire store near you. I go to the one on 2nd East and South Temple, and you just sort of develop a relationship with them, and things go smooth and fast, and you get good advice, and they also look up things for you. There's discount on this tire this month, and things like that. So go to bigotires.com, and remember, Big O Tires is the team you trust.
Imagine.
It's time for Beat Gina, the game show that always assures there's a peaceful transfer of power. When the game is decided, you can be sure that Gina will peacefully hand over a prize, deserved or not. So join in the fun, and don't worry about losing your precious game show democracy when you listen to Beat Gina. And now, here he is, the defender of game show democracy, the host who fights for the truth, the justice, and the game show way. He won't let the show fall into chaos. No, he's the one, the only, Kerry Smilin' Jack Jackson.
Oh, thank you, Johnny. Thank
You're
you so much. Good to have you back.
It's good to be here.
Well,
It's
let's
good to
see.
be anywhere.
Good to be above ground, as
Yes.
my uncle used to say. All right, we do have a contestant on the phone. We tossed a coin off air to determine that Scott will be our contestant. And Scott, are you there?
I am here. Thank you.
All
Hi,
right,
Scott.
Scott has promised to go to Moochie's as much as possible.
Excellent.
Have Philly
Good
cheesesteak.
choice.
Not much of a sacrifice.
We all do our part in this desperate time.
Get the Philly cheesesteak.
yeah.
Get the Philly cheesesteak egg rolls there. They're
I will
delicious.
try that. I've never had that before.
All right. We will toss a coin now to determine who goes first in this game, Scott. It gives you an advantage. Call it heads or tails.
Heads.
Heads. Coin toss app says it is heads, as you can see. All right. I think that means you go first. That means you have an advantage in the game. This first question is yours alone to answer correctly. If you do, you get a point. If you get it incorrect, Gina then gets a chance to answer it and steal your point away. We'll then go back and forth until somebody has 3 points. So, Scott, Shaun of the Dead trivia. First question. What pub does everybody take refuge in? It's the name of the pub that everybody takes refuge in. Is it A, the Winchester, B, the Dorchester, C, Squatters, or D, the Sun Trap?
I'm going to go with A.
That would be a good choice. Thank you.
It's 1-0 for Scott. Now let's test Gina's knowledge of the wonderful comic zombie movie Shaun of the Dead. It's her turn to answer.
Gina.
Yes.
Nick Frost plays a character named Ed in the movie.
Yes.
What is written on Ed's T-shirt through the length of the movie? Is it A, I'd rather be Russian than a Democrat? B, I am drunk? C, I got wood? Or D, the word boner with like 2 robots on it?
B.
I am drunk?
Yes.
That is incorrect.
Really?
Scott.
Chance to steal. Scott, what's the answer?
C.
I got wood is correct.
It's 2-0 for Scott. And in what may be a clean sweep, Scott controls the question with his dominance of the knowledge of the wonderful comic movie Shaun of the Dead.
It's better to be lucky than good.
All right. Scott, what crazy thing does Big Al believe? What crazy thing does Big Al believe? A, that there's a secret basement under Comet Pizza. B, dogs cannot look up. C, cats can secretly talk. Or D, COVID-19 is a hoax.
I'm going to go with B. I'm not sure about this one.
B, dogs cannot look up?
Uh-huh.
That is correct.
Scott, you win the game.
Wow.
Not only are you going to enjoy delicious food at Moochie's, meatballs and more, you win a Radio from Hell tote bag.
To put all your sandwiches in.
Your totes and sandwiches and egg rolls.
Egg rolls and all that.
Congratulations, Scott, and for helping transfer power peacefully here on BG.
Oh, no problem. It's nice to finally meet you, Johnny.
All right, Scott.
Thank you.
Hang on the line.
Johnny fan.
Hang on the line.
I'll put that down as one fan.
Hang on the line, and we'll get your information there, Scott. Thanks.
Like Heather in Harrisville did.
Harrisville.
Mm-hmm.
How are things in Harrisville?
I don't know. Ask Heather.
That's down there, the 5 Points area of Ogden.
That's right. All right. Is this? I know this is sponsored.
It's extra sponsored because it's one of our favorite features.
People love Jimmy.
Stock up your holiday bar with Five Wives Vodka, named Best Local Spirit of 2023 by City Weekly. 750 milliliter bottles of Five Wives Vodka are on sale now for $4 off at DABC stores. And
DABS.
I'm only reading what it says here.
Well, change it to an S.
Rocky Mountain Mixers, your locally owned and operated mixers and more store offering Utah's widest selection of mixers in one location, located just east of Cottonwood Heights Liquor Store, Fort Union Boulevard, or online at rockymixers.com.
Have another drink, it'll make you feel better. Have another drink and you feel alright. If you feel down and you're under the weather, have another drink and you feel alright.
And here he is, the Grand Vizier of the Wine Academy of Utah. Yes, he is the Doge of the Wine Academy of Utah. Jimmy Santangelo, wineacademyofutah.com. He's prepared cocktails for us.
This has lots of ingredients
Lots
today.
going on here. We're featuring Ogden's own Underground, and this is an herbaceous spirit. It's a liqueur, right? Some people compare it to Fernet, but I got to tell you, this is it differentiates itself apart. One thing I like about what is an herbaceous liqueur?
Yeah.
It's
Say,
when you
Jimmy,
take
what
it,
is an herbaceous liqueur?
what is it? Every time I come
glad
about,
you asked.
glad you asked. And herbal spirits are a category of distillation where the base spirit's flavored by spices, roots, herbs, fruits, or botanicals. Some of the more famous brands are Campari, Aperol, Cointreau, Campari, as mentioned, Pernod, Bailey's, and Fernet. Now,
is Jaeger?
Yeah,
Jägermeister?
it's in there. And what really Ogden's Own differentiates itself with this Underground is they use half the raw sugar necessary to sweeten it up. So right there, that's really cool. And then they proof it at 40% alcohol by volume. So on its own, and I know we made a cocktail and we'll get to it, but on its own, I have that in this glass. The herbs just really stand out nicely. On the palate, it's a little lighter. It's not as viscous all over, and it's not leaving you with that lip smacking sweetness at the end. Yeah, absolutely. And I love this. This is nice on its own. A little bit of rocks in after dinner as a digestif, you know, really. And then in a cocktail.
You know, I could, on the rocks, that would be.
You'd have that straight?
Yeah.
Isn't this Ogden's Own? Isn't that the first
I think it is
spirit
the first
that they
they did.
produced?
2009 they released this,
Yeah.
and it's been a hit ever since. It's on sale this month, and this is the 750 milliliter bottle. They also have a 1,000 ml. So if you're featuring a cocktail special or the cocktail that I'm about to tell you about, maybe you'll get the 1,000 milliliter bottle, because then this way you can have enough to make plenty of drinks.
I like the bottle. It looks like a medicine bottle.
It does.
Like
Yeah, a little bit of medicine, and that's what liqueurs and these spirits were. So, on the website of Ogden's Own, now I created my own cocktail at one time with a little bit of cognac with this, and that was a really nice balance of that orchard fruit. But this cocktail, right off the website's called...
This is off their website.
Off their website. It's called Spank the Monkey.
I'm in.
Okay.
It's kind of early, but...
Never too early.
Never too
early.
And this has fruit juice in it. That's a breakfast drink.
Sure.
So this is... So
I thought you meant it's never too early to spank the monkey.
I was trying to deflect, but thanks for bringing us back.
So we've got 2-part Ogden's Own to an equal part of pineapple juice to 1 part amaretto to then an equal part of Grand Marnier. So it's a 2 to 2 to 1 to 1 ratio cocktail. So whether that's 2 ounces and 2 ounces of the Underground and pineapple to 1 ounce of the amaretto and Grand Marnier, however you want to do it. But what do you guys think?
It's delicious.
Yeah, it's very unusual tasting, and it's good. I mean, it's
mix up a big batch of these for your Super Bowl party.
Oh my God, absolutely! And some you can replace the amaretto for orgeat or orgeat, that almond flavor. But I had amaretto on hand. At Rocky Mountain Mixers, you can get orgeat syrup by Big Daddy, a local guy here in town that produces it. It really, I kind of like this. It's got this almost tiki thing going on, especially with the almond and the pineapple, and the herbs really are. I'll tell you, I think I would add more of the Underground to the cocktails I made us.
I'm going to right now.
Yeah, please do. Well,
there we go.
You're going back to Spank the Monkey.
Just
aren't you?
a little
bit
more.
more spank.
Yeah.
He needs more spank.
Now, could you do this in a punch bowl? Make a whole
I think
big
that's
batch
where.
of it?
That's what Carrie's talking about.
Yeah,
for the
Carrie's
party.
spot on. You could
That's your
totally
Super
do
Bowl.
this as your Super Bowl in a pitcher.
Would you put ice in it or have the ice in the glasses?
You know, I would put ice separately so you don't dilute it that much.
Exactly.
But you do want to ice this. I think a little bit of chill as we're having it over ice. And you saw me, I just mixed it from glass to glass to give it that dilution. I let the ice sweat a little bit because I prepped the glasses earlier so they could dilute and melt a touch.
Oh, okay.
And this is in fact medicine. Yeah, this is Daddy's
Are
medicine.
you feeling better, Bill? Are all your pains melting away?
You should spank the monkey every morning.
I try to.
Well, this is a fun
Gina,
cocktail.
why don't you deflect, Gina?
Pineapple juice.
By deflecting, that means take the fun out of it.
I'm telling you. Big bowl of this and some King's Hawaiian sliders for your Super Bowl.
Oh, now you're talking.
I'm in.
Now I've been real proud to be able to represent Ogden's Own and have them sponsor the show. And this Underground, I think, this is a quality product. I mean,
good.
bar none.
Yeah, quite good.
Yeah, don't buy Jaeger. Buy the local stuff.
Exactly.
Totally.
And
If you like Jaeger, you'll love Ogden's
Well,
Own.
this is different. I mean, there are similarities, but this is good as opposed to what Jägermeister is.
Exactly.
It's half the sugar, and that's in full strength, 40% ABV.
And that sugar is what's going to give you the hangover.
Totally.
So that's why Jaeger is.
Yep.
Oh, man.
So I got to give a shout out. Last
Please.
night I was at the Westerner. We have our monthly spirits classes, our whiskey flight night, and then you have these complimentary line dances afterwards, so you can get your courage on if you're not much of a dancer. But I gotta do a shout out to Eugene over there, the lead bartender. Guys, he's a great kid. He says he's been listening to Radio from Hell since he was a kid. He loved tuning into Boner of the Day and his little AM/FM clock radio, his alarm clock. He would have to manipulate and monkey around. See what I did there? He had to monkey around with the antenna so he can get a better signal, just so he could listen to the show. So Eugene, you're a solid guy.
Eugene.
Yeah, but next week, take Thursday the 15th, Tracy Aviary Sweetheart Wines, followed by Friday at Edison House Top 100 Wines of 2023. Sunday, I'm at Clearwater Distillery for a cigar and spirits pairing. And then next Thursday, I'm at the Leonardo Museum for Leo Libations. Go to wineacademyofutah.com for more information.
All right. Thank you. Jimmy Santangelo, the autocrat.
He's everywhere.
Of the Wine Academy of Utah, the chieftain, the despot, if you will, that runs the Wine Academy of Utah.
I'm going to have to look up a lot of these words.
Yeah. Master Jedi.
It's the benevolent despot.
Heard from a proud member of the Infinity Team. I-15 southbound in Roy at I-84 exit. Traffic is stopped there. Thank you, Infinity Team member. By the way, you're all part of the Infinity Team. Just text us what you're seeing on the roads, 33986. We've got a mess out by Saltaire. A couple different accidents. Westbound I-80. One at milepost 110. One at milepost 107.
Sorry.
We also have a crash ramp eastbound I-215 south at the 62nd South exit. Bacchus Highway, 118th South. And like I said, what are you seeing on the roads? Well, you've got to tell us. Text it to us, 33986. The Stateroom Presents, bringing you music memories. Go check out tickets, showtimes, and who's going to be there. Available at thestateroompresents.com.
All right. Coming up after these messages and a song. It's Beat Gina.
Ooh.
Yes. Today, it's Tom Hiddleston's birthday.
Loki?
Loki.
Thor and Loki trivia.
Hank Williams. Wasn't he Hank Williams? Didn't he do a biopic of Hank Williams?
He might have.
He might have.
He did.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. So 877-602-9696 is the number to call to line up to play Beat Gina. What do we have for a prize?
Tickets to see Silver Sun Pickups coming to the Union on the 20th of February.
Going to be a good show. Silver Sun Pickups. Ticks at 877-602-9696. All you got to do is play Beat Gina. I'm not even going to tell you have to win to win the tickets.
Harry.
Play Beat Gina. It's 877-602-9696. BigOTires.com.
The team you trust, ladies and gentlemen, BigOTires.com is where you want to go. They like I told the story a couple times this week. My son went in with the Honda. It has Big O tires on it, but it had a flat tire or a nail in it or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I said they'll just take care of you and they won't charge you. Just go do. And but he finally did it. He just came back and he was amazed by the Big O tire guys at Second East and South Temple, and all the places are like that. All of them.
Yeah.
And they've got this sale going on, but it's only on through February 19th. Come in and save $160 in rebate savings on select sets of Michelin tires now through February 19th.
Big O also offers multiple financing options to suit any situation, because sometimes tires can be an unexpected expense.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have to, I have to get 4 new tires. Yes, I'm sorry, you do.
You do.
Well, you can finance it at Big O Tires. So go to bigotires.com, find a location near you. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
X96.com/live is where you can see us broadcasting live from our homes. Proof of life right there.
I just realized it's where you can see me grimacing.
Yeah.
Why so grimacing, Bill?
Yeah, for 19 weeks, yeah.
Well, really, just today, just the last half hour or so, I never get headaches. I don't ever get a headache. It's something that never has been a problem with me. And I've got a headache. I don't.
Is it this big? Does it have Excedrin written all over it?
It's not huge, but because I never get a headache, it's like just almost unbearable. And yet I realize it's not very bad. But it's just like, oh my God.
How much water are you drinking?
Yeah, you drinking enough water?
Probably not.
That's a big one. I've been getting headaches recently because I'm not drinking enough water.
Jeez.
That's
Carrie's here
not
to
bubbly
help.
Water.
That's not Carrie. That's Dr. Nick.
I have a pill that will help you, Bill.
Yeah, unfortunately, the pills that would help me are downstairs.
Oh, well, okay. Gina, what were you playing with? What did you have?
Well, just so school. It starts for Jonesy tomorrow, actually.
So Friday?
Yeah, well, it's orientation day. So
okay.
And it's for all intents.
That's where orientation day is where they tell them which direction to face.
To orient yourself, right? Yeah. So it is upon us, and Muhammad starts next week, and I had ordered some of Muhammad's uniform from Land's End. And so I was getting it out of the box yesterday and getting ready to, wash some of those clothes so they can be ready for Monday. And I'm pulling all the papers out of the box. And at the bottom of the box, there's this card. And it says, I'm showing you at x96.com/live. It says a special gift for customers of Land's End, a $100 wine voucher.
Wow.
Delivery included, it says.
Well, you have to remember, Land's End is a land where grown-ups live. So.
That's what I was going to say. It's something called nakedwines.com. And I went there, and it's like a wine of the month club. You can buy cases of wine there, and I have to claim this within 30 days to get my $100 worth of wine.
Does it have states that are excluded on it?
Well, of course Utah's excluded.
Well, I think there might be a way you can do it.
No, there's no.
You sure?
You can't ship wine. You can't ship wine.
You can to the liquor store.
Yeah, how does that work now?
I think there might be a way you can have it shipped to the liquor store.
Because Pro Flowers did the same thing. They would send, thank you for your purchase, and here's, X amount of dollars at a wine store, and I could never use them. I'd send them to Drew in California, and he used them. Yeah.
Well, I posted this on Twitter, so probably somebody has stolen my codes already. I would love to know if somebody got that and is getting their $100 worth of wine. But Land's End knows what parents need when they're getting ready for school this year, and I think $100 worth of wine is a great school supply to supply for parents.
You said it's upon us. I think you said Catholic school It's upon us. That's a Catholic holiday I'm not familiar with.
Upon us?
What is the Catholic
Saint
holiday
upon
of
us.
upon us? Saint upon us. What is
The
that?
patron saint of quarantines is.
Saint upon us.
Yeah. So what's here? It's happening. It's school. We're doing school.
Okay.
Now, I have never ordered a case of anything from the liquor store. Never done that. And Sue told me that I should order a couple of cases of those sparkling wines in the can that Jimmy had for us last week. And so I just went, can I do that online, or do I need to go down there? I've never done that before.
I don't know for sure, but I know you can do it.
Yeah.
You probably need to go down there.
I think you have to go there.
And see,
or you might be able to online, because they could verify your they could verify your information online.
Yeah, it sounds like a question for Jimmy the wine guy next time we have him on.
Well, I can't wait that long, can I?
I need to drink now.
The weekend is coming, Gina.
And unfortunately, there's no other way to contact Jimmy other than just when he's on our show.
I know, right?
Yeah. Damnedest thing.
All right. Nirvana, but you knew that. Is this sponsored, Gina?
Yes, everything is sponsored today. Film buffs, enjoy your favorite movies on the big screen at Broadway cinemas. We've got all kinds of stuff going on there. They've got the Black History Month stuff. They have the Ryan Gosling film series. You can get tickets and showtimes at slfstix.org.
Well, it's time once again for another edition of Beat Gina.
Yes.
I'm the donut-loving Beat Gina announcer Johnny Ola. Hey, Mom. And I say, hey, Mom, because this is your obligation, Mom, because it's on your shoulders that this task always falls upon, because society has decided that you, Mom, is the one person in the family that has the responsibility to make sure that the family gets fed morning, noon, and night. Sorry. Let me begin again. Hey, Mom, here's how you can keep the family home for breakfast. It's Hostess. In today's hurry-up world, there's only one surefire way of knowing your family is getting a proper breakfast, a way that you can wake them, cheer them, charm them, please them, excite them, delight them, and keep them home for breakfast because, you know, Mom, it's your job to do that. The Hostess Breakfast Bake Shop can help.
Little chocolate donuts.
Donuts!
It's chock full of powdered cinnamon, chocolate, honey, wheat, donuts, and lots more.
I'll take
Hostess Bake Shop makes your family, because you know, Mom, this is your responsibility, want to take the time to eat breakfast at home. Hostess, packing on the pounds and elevating blood sugar for generations. I'm your host, your announcer, Johnny Ola. I'm going to have another Spank the Monkey. All right, here's your host, Carrie Jackson.
Thank you, Johnny Ola.
Sorry, I was distracted.
I understand. The randomizer has picked a contestant. Gina, you'll be playing against Taylor today.
Hi, Taylor.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, Taylor, we're going to toss a coin to see who goes first. It will give you an advantage if you call it correctly. Heads or tails, sir?
Head.
All right, coin up. Tails, Gina Barberi.
You're one step further away from these tickets to see Silver Sun pickups at the Union on the 20th of February.
You're not really one step further away, Taylor.
Johnny, stop.
Taylor,
I'm sorry.
because you lost the coin toss, Gina goes first. If she answers the question, she gets the point. If not, I'll allow you to answer the same question correctly, stealing that point away from Gina, and we'll go back and forth till one of you has 3 points. Now, because it's Tom Hiddleston's birthday, we have Thor and Loki trivia. All right, so here we go. First question for Gina. Gina.
Yes.
When Chris Hemsworth, who plays Thor, and Sir Anthony Hopkins, who played Odin, saw each other in full armor for the first time, what did Anthony Hopkins say?
Okay.
Was it 1, my son? Was it 2, you look like a rube, a well-scrubbed, hustling rube with little taste. Good nutrition's giving you some length of bone, but you're not more than one generation from poor white trash, are you?
Thank you.
Nice.
3, God, there's no acting required here, is there? Or 4, you fly back to school now, little starling. Fly, fly, fly.
My son.
You'd like to think.
No.
No.
This is a famous quote.
I know exactly what. Yes. Taylor, you have a chance to steal.
4.
No, it's God, there's no acting required here, is there?
I wanted him to say my son.
What's wrong with our contestants these days? All right, Taylor. Sorry you didn't get a point, but you do control the question.
All right. Stan Lee, the comic book creator and executive producer of the movie Thor, claimed he'd always wanted to play which Thor character in a movie?
Okay.
Is it 1, Thor? Is it 2, Jane Foster? Is it 3, Odin? Or 4, Kid Loki?
3.
Very good.
There you go, Taylor. Nicely done.
Throwing you a bone.
It's 1-0, and now Gina.
Gina, Tom Hiddleston found one of Loki's outfit pieces very uncomfortable.
Okay.
And he channeled his discomfort into Loki's battle scenes. Which outfit piece was this?
Okay.
Is it 1, Loki's bedazzled jean jacket from Chess King?
Yes.
Is it 2, Loki's Oakley wrapped around sunglasses, jet ski not included? Is it 3, Loki's wig, or 4, Loki's helmet?
That helmet's pretty unwieldy.
It is a big helmet.
Yes, that's a point for Gina. It's 1-1. Now, Taylor.
Taylor? Tom Hiddleston based his performance of Loki on 3 different actors. Who were they? Who did he channel to play Loki? Is it 1, Peter O'Toole, Jack Nicholson, and Clint Eastwood? Is it 2, Mo Howard, Larry Fine, and Shemp Howard? Was it 3, Tilda Swinton? Oh, she can do
anything. Really.
Tilda Swinton, Angela Lansbury, and B. Arthur? Or 4, David Niven, Sean Connery, and Alan Rickman?
It's got to be 4.
Oh, no.
I would have said that
That's
too,
what I would have
Taylor.
said as well.
So it must be 1 then.
1, Peter O'Toole, Jack Nicholson, and Clint Eastwood.
All right, it's 2-1. Gina's ahead, and she controls the question. She could win with this one.
I hope she does.
Don't we
Nothing
all?
against you, Taylor, but
Don't we all?
running out of questions is why. Let's see. Mjolnir, the name of Thor's hammer.
Oh, yes.
Mjolnir.
What is it?
Mjolnir.
Oh.
Meow, meow.
Mjolnir.
Mjolnir is ancient Norse.
Okay.
What does it mean?
Okay.
The direct translation in ancient Norse. Is it 1, hammer? Is it 2, lobster thermidor? Is it 3, grinder? Or 4, corn dog?
It's got to be hammer, right? No? What?
Taylor.
Taylor?
You
She
got
took the-
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, she took the bait. Grinder.
Exactly.
Yes, nice, Taylor.
Hammer was bait.
Tyler, you tied the game, and now, Taylor, you could win with this question.
Taylor, here we go. Somebody better win because this is the last question.
Oh.
I'm out. Tom Hiddleston described Loki as what in Thor the Dark World? This is the second Thor movie. So he described Loki as what? Is it 1, sheriff of a small town in North Carolina? Is it 2, a firework? Is it 3, throwing his own pity party? Or 4, a German porn star?
Firework?
Firework! And you win,
There you
Taylor!
go.
Nicely done. That's what I would have guessed as
Come
well.
from behind.
Nicely done, Taylor. You brilliantly garnered yourself Silver Sun pickup tickets.
Hang on the line.
Hang
We'll
on.
tell you how to get this.
Listen, I've got to go. I'll miss my flight.
Oh, no.
I'm flying over to Great Britain for Tom Hiddleston's birthday.
Oh, there we go. All right. News now brought to you by...
Living with mental illness is challenging. At Therapy Transformed, they offer virtual and in-person counseling for individuals, couples, and groups. For treatment-resistant depression, they offer ketamine-assisted psychotherapy and mindful movement sessions. Visit therapytransformed.com.
We have a service where we get a lot of celebrity news.
Yes.
And it bugs me because they have this story about Drew Carey. Says he feels better than he looks after his weight loss. He's lost a lot of weight. And they didn't. Oh, there's a picture.
Yep.
But they did not provide the picture in the story, and I didn't have a chance to look it up.
No.
Well, he
But
looks
there it
very
is.
thin.
Yes, he does look very thin. He says, "Now I'm not taking my shirt off at the pool or anything, but I lost a few pounds." He said that he feels much better after losing the weight. He said finding the proper suits that fit him has made all the difference. Over the past decade, the Price is Right host has lost more than 80 pounds, but he's not done yet.
Wow.
Yeah, he says, I've got a few more to lose. And it's taken him like 10 years to do this. He said he feels way better. I feel better than I look. Mm-hmm. And I know I look pretty good. So
I think it's just interesting that he has settled into the Price is Right host as... This is what I do.
That's a job.
Oh,
This is my job. I think
that's
it's
great.
amazing that he did that.
I think he was smart to do it when he got offered that gig, or he sought. I think he sought that gig, and I think he knew exactly what he wanted to do. He wanted a job that he could just depend on, entertain people, and not have to worry about stand-up and all of that. Does he do any stand-up at all?
I think he still occasionally does, and he still occasionally will appear on Who's Line. But mostly, I think he's this.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's probably a really good gig.
I would
like
think
it's
so.
it's steady.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what was
he's
the-
home every night?
Because we were there for a
For a
taping
taping,
of
uh-huh,
Price is Right.
years ago,
And I
yeah.
would think that they would keep the same schedule. It seems like they shot like 3 or 4 episodes in one day.
I think they may do a week's worth in one day. 5.
So
in
he
a
may
day.
work one day a week and then have the rest of the time off.
Pretty good gig.
Yeah.
What began as a stolen car investigation earlier in the week here in South Salt Lake ended in a police shooting in South Salt Lake Wednesday night. The man who was shot, identified as Kevin Ballou, taken to the hospital in critical condition but expected to survive. Following the shooting, 3 officers were placed on administrative leave pending an investigation. They said they saw a weapon, and indeed there was a weapon. They took action that they needed to take, said Lieutenant Stuart Four with the American Fork Police Department. He broke into a tow yard that had impounded his vehicle. He broke into the building where the keys were housed. He was damn determined
So he's
to
stealing
get
his own car.
Yeah, damn determined to get that car back. He allegedly shot at the gate lock 21 times so that he could get his Honda Civic out of there, and then he rammed the gate as he left. Nobody was injured by the gunshots during the incident except the thief. The Marine Corps said yesterday, that all 5 Marines aboard a helicopter that went missing in Southern California this week were killed in a crash. The service did not release the names of the troopers pending notification of their next of kin. The Marines were flying a Super Stallion, is what it's called, from Nevada to a Marine Corps air station near San Diego when the helicopter crashed over a mountainous area east of the city during really bad weather. The 5 Marines belong to the Marine Heavy Helicopter Squadron 361, which falls under the 3rd Marine Aircraft Wing. It is with a heavy heart and profound sadness that we share the loss of 5 outstanding Marines from the 3rd Marine Aircraft Wing and the Flying Tigers. They're conducting an investigation to determine exactly what happened, but the weather was pretty bad when the chopper went down. Thanks to last season's epic snowpack, the control gates at Utah Lake were opened yesterday to allow water to release downstream from Utah Lake and potentially benefit the Great Salt Lake.
Excellent.
Officials said that the record water year in 2023 caused Utah Lake to approach what they call full levels. Once those levels are reached, it's required by the state to open and regulate the gates to prevent flooding in and around Utah Lake.
That's great news.
While the exact amount of water to be released is not known, the Utah Lake Water Users Association believes it may be as much as 300 million gallons per day. Factors such as weather will determine how much water actually will make it to the Great Salt Lake, which still desperately needs it even after the record snow. Utah needs to maximize the amount of water that gets to the Great Salt Lake in wet years, like the one that resulted from last year's record snowpack, said Great Salt Lake Commissioner Brian Steed. The fastest way to get water to the lake is from abundant precipitation. However, conservation helps keep water in our reservoirs and stretch the water supply. Should the snow and the rain continue as it has this week, the gates could remain open even longer. I think I heard Kevin Eubank say yesterday that these recent storms here just in the last few days have resulted in 100% of normal
Excellent.
snowpack. 100% of normal.
Oh, good.
He said it was looking a little dicey for a while, that we weren't going to have as well. We're still not on track to have as great an amount of precipitation as last winter, but we're at 100%. It was over 100% last winter. It's kind of an interesting story about, and I can't go into all the details, but we're celebrating Black History Month, and at the corner of historic 25th Street and Lincoln Avenue in Ogden, tucked away in front of Union Station and behind restaurants and local stores, there's a piece of history there. All you got to do is step outside that door and ask anybody about Willie Moore, and they'll have a story to tell you, I promise, said Frankie Ortega, who owns Moore's Barber Shop. In 1943, Willie Moore opened Moore's Barber Shop. He's been cutting hair for 60 to 70 years. He became an icon in the black community. You know, everybody who's who would come in and just say, "Hey, how you doing, Mr. Moore?" He passed away in 2019. About 15 years ago, he took Ortega under his wing. He ain't teach me nothing about cutting hair. He taught me about people, and he taught me how to get along with people, said Mr. Ortega. So that's cool. That's a nice story. I you know, it's funny. As Ogden as I am, as many times as I've been on 25th Street over the years, I don't recall seeing that.
There's always something on 25th Street that you discover. Always, even if you live there.
All right.
All right. Sports, weather, traffic.
Brought to you by, are there any closet Swifties out there? Check out Laser Taylor Swift, now playing every Friday and Saturday at the Hanson Dome Theater at Clark Planetarium. Visit clarkplanetarium.org for showtimes. There'll be a lot of people cheering for the Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday, but a good chance no one cheering harder than Chad Johnson.
Why is that?
It's because the former Bengals receiver has a lot riding on this game. Johnson thinks the Chiefs are going to win, and although he didn't bet any money, he put something else on the line. Quote, if the Chiefs lose, I'll divorce my wife and I will have no sex for the rest of the year. That's how confident I am.
Did we get this in writing?
I think we need to. I think we need to
All right.
look at that.
And how are we going to monitor that?
I think we need to hire somebody to follow him around.
Because as much as I want the Chiefs to win, even I know that the 49ers probably will.
It's going to be a great game.
It will.
That's all the sports that anybody's paying attention
Exactly.
to this weekend. Weather. It is snowing quite heavily outside the studio. If you see behind me here. Look, oh, look, I'm a real weather person.
Look at you.
Downtown, we have...
It's Gina Barberi at the weather window.
If you're at our YouTube channel, yes.
Meteorologist Gina Barberi.
50% chance of this happening throughout the day today. But however, this weekend, things are going to clear up. It will be cold, highs only in the mid to low 30s and low 20s for overnight. But snow just happening today. And lots of Infinity members are alerting us to traffic. 4-car slide-off northbound Bangor Highway just north of Parkway Boulevard. 5600 west from 62nd south to the 21 has horrible weather. Hasn't been plowed and is backed up completely. Love you guys. Thank you. Be careful out there. Gina, I'm seeing snow on the roads. You asked me to text what I'm seeing, and that is what I'm seeing. Thank you. That's helpful. Crash northbound Bangor 23rd south. Somebody else is saying traffic backed up eastbound I-80 from I-84 Jeremy Ranch. Complete stop. Jeremy Ranch exit is a mess as well. We're dealing with snow this morning, and thanks for letting us know what you're seeing out there. 33986. Knives. NAFS wants their pocket knives in your pocket. Visit their store in Clearfield where they offer knife sharpening and engraving, or visit them at nafs.com/x96. See products you can use. The code X96 for 20% off. That's nafs.com/X96.
All right, we're going to talk to Sim Gill about what we can do about this whole situation with the school board and all that stuff, and a couple of other things as well. We'll have him after these. Don't forget, just after 9 o'clock, it's the Boner Recap Game. Stand by.
It is the 23rd century. Humans have left the lowly confines of planet Earth and have sought their destiny among the stars. While many things have changed, one constant remains: the need for young men to venture forth and do the work of the Lord. This is the tale of two such men who at the age of 19 have answered the call of their general authorities and are embarking on a 2-year mission to spread the gospel throughout the galaxy. This is the story of Space Elders! Today, we join our elders as they are about to encounter the Borg for the second time.
Man, these Borg ships sure are sparsely decorated and poorly lit.
Well, I sure hope we get to spend more time with the Borg this time. I mean, last time we didn't even get to the first discussion.
I am 5 of 7. I am here to show you the way.
Hey, that's why we're here, too.
Hello, Mr. 5 of 7. We met your cousin 3 of 7 last time. I'm Elder Christiansen, and this is Elder Jensen.
Hi.
We represent the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
You know.
The Mormons. Yes, your exploits are known throughout the collective.
Hey, Lehigh, we're famous, huh?
All Borg are one. Whatever one experiences becomes available to all.
Well, that would speed up faster testimony meetings. Say, where are you taking us?
To her chambers. She is expecting you.
I don't like the sound of that.
Welcome, elders. I have been anticipating your arrival.
Hi, ma'am. I'm Lehigh, and he's Butch.
Hi.
I have wonderful plans for you boys. Together we will rule over the perfect Borg galaxy.
Well, I hope this can wait until after our mission is over.
Ma'am, who exactly are you, and why do you have plans for us?
I am the Borg.
Well, I thought they were the Borg.
They are, and I am. And once we assimilate you two, you will be Borg as well.
Oh, I get it. He's a Borg, she's a Borg. Everywhere a Borg, old MacDonald had a Borg.
Knock it off, Butch. We better come up with a plan quick or we're going to be assimilated.
Okay, Ms. Borg, tell you what. I'll give you my new fender flares and the luggage rack off of Lehi's bike, and we'll just be on our way.
You will look cute in black rubber suits, and I have picked out some special prosthetic parts for each of you. Soon you'll be my lieutenants, my consorts, my special friends. Together we will assimilate the Federation, then the Romulans, then the Cardassians, and then whoever else we can find. And we will have fun doing it. Hook them to the assimilator.
Hey, come on, let us go!
Nothing like the assimilation of new young men to make one forget about how Locutus left me without saying goodbye.
Something is wrong. The assimilation process has failed. They have already been assimilated by a stronger force than the Borg.
Quick, shut down the machinery. The feedback could contaminate the collective. What have you done to my beloved collective?
Well, once you hooked us up to that gizmo over there, all of our experiences were spread throughout the entire Borg race.
Lehi and I were able to bear our testimonies to more than 7 billion beings at one time.
It was kind of like General Conference, except without the crying babies and the old people going to sleep.
Yeah.
We not only got to give the first discussion to the Borg, but to pretty much teach the whole gospel to all of them at once. Could it be? Have the Borg finally met their match? Could Butch and Lehi be immune to the assimilation process? Tune in next time to hear the Borg say...
I am Elder 5 of 7, and this is my companion 4 of 9. We represent the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. You know, the Mormons.
No! You've turned the most feared race in the galaxy into a bunch of jello-loving, suburban-driving moral goody-goodies.
Well, you think that people were afraid of you before. Wait until you start approaching planets now. Man, I'd hate to play word ball against these guys.
I think our work here is done. Hey, can we count all 7 billion as converts?
Well, technically, we didn't baptize them. We'll have to check with Zone Leader Hansen just to be sure.
What about me? I was queen. I was the most powerful being in the galaxy, ruler of an entire race of warriors. What am I supposed to do now?
Well, I guess you are now the most powerful Relief Society president in the galaxy. Congratulations. Gotta go.
Bye-bye, sister.
On the next artificial limb-attaching episode of Space Elders!
Sim Gill, the district attorney for Salt Lake County. Good morning, Mr. DA. How are you?
There you go.
I'm fine, Bill. I'm happy to be here as always.
Sim, you were quoted recently in the Salt Lake Tribune after Governor Cox came back from the border and said, he said there's a crisis in illegal immigration, and you can literally walk through downtown Salt Lake City and see the impacts of the drugs that are coming across the border with Mexico. You seem to take some exception to that.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I think, first of all, let's put it in its proper context, that more American citizens smuggle drugs across our borders is not the immigrants who are coming here.
Yep.
And to couple that up with the issue of which is neglect of access to supportive services, to transitional housing, a dysfunctional mental health system that's not providing services, and we're criminalizing that conduct. And for that institutional and failure is beneath the governor to do that. If we want to address that issue of those deficits in our community, let's have an honest conversation, but not grandstand at the border and try to make some issue downtown here, which is part of our policy neglect.
Yeah, it's just people say these things without any statistics to back it up.
Yeah.
Is there a way that we track, illegal drug use in Salt Lake County?
Well, first of all, let's be clear. The drug use is because Americans are consuming drugs. It's not some illegal immigrant who is coming to this country because of seeking asylum or escaping political turmoil or for economic reasons. In fact, all the studies that have shown that immigrants here contribute to the economic base, they're more law-abiding folks. And
Yes.
anybody who violates the law should be prosecuted. But that is just a coupling that doesn't is unnecessary.
Yeah. Now we've disposed of that. Let's talk a little bit about. You were quoted also about this whole thing with Kira Birkeland, a representative from Morgan County, who apparently, in trying to come to try and denounce what Natalie Klein on the school board had done, released some information that should be private about transgendered people. And that's a crime, right?
It's a potential crime. And look, our system of investigations and accountability occurs when people file a complaint. And when I was asked, I go, of course, if there's a violation of the law, something that we're going to look at, and especially when we are targeting children. So there's protected information. If there's a violation, that should be looked into, and we will do that in a fair manner. And then as to Ms. Klein, if she's targeting somebody for and outing somebody and they're engaging in some could rise to a criminal activity, this may also potentially be a hate crime because that person is being perceived to belong to a protected group.
Mm-hmm.
And so these are all things that are worthy of investigation and appropriate accountability if the evidence is there. But I think the most important thing is to recognize that when we rush to these kind of lynch mob mentality, there are real victims out there. And for elected peoples and policymakers, they ought to be thoughtful about what they say and how it's going to be interpreted, and if their words and their conduct violate something that is going to be harmful to our children. So those are legitimate things, but there's a process, and we will avail ourselves of that process if there's a complaint and there are issues for us to look at.
Let's talk about, in our just a little bit of time we have left here, about the case that against the Salt Lake police officer Nicholas Pierce. Your office lost that case. His attorney, who used to work in your office, got him off. Describe what happened there.
Well, look, we have I believe in our judicial system. We disagree with the outcome from the jury. The district attorney's office, as in service to our community of citizens, has an oversight function. We presented the case. We went past preliminary hearing. It went to the jury. And if there's any violation that occurs, I don't care whether you're a law enforcement officer or somebody else, we're going to try, present that to our jury, and we'll let the process play itself out. And we're not going to abandon our oversight function when somebody violates the law, regardless of your status, wealth, or job description.
So that you lost that case, but is there any recourse to continue with it, or is it just now history?
No. That's our process. The jury made its decision. We presented the evidence. And I think that is something that our community can take solace in, that if there is an allegation of criminal wrongdoing, then we will avail ourselves of that process, especially when it comes to our oversight function. That's just the way it is.
Yeah. We talked about the transgender bill, and I noticed here in some information you sent over here that the diversion
DEI.
The DEI legislation, the transgender legislation, the book banning legislation that they're trying to pass. Where do you think all of this comes from?
I think that's unfortunately, I think it's a commentary of where we are as a community, and our public institutions really have a responsibility to fundamental fairness. And the last time I checked, we're supposed to be a free society where ideas are not something we should be afraid of. And when we talk about DEI, it's really about fundamental issues of fairness and equality, and recognizing that this country has a history of racism and discrimination, and everybody deserves an opportunity to succeed. That doesn't mean that you take somebody who's incompetent or not qualified and elevate them into a position that they're not capable of doing. It means that we acknowledge what it is, and we're trying to create a more fair and just and fair, equal system for all of our citizens, and some of those citizens who may have been historically wrong. And we know what's fascinating about that is, as those issues have been applied, they have veterans have gotten more supportive services. First generation non-college grad families who have not sent children there. So it's about creating a fair system consistent with our ideals. I don't know what everybody's afraid of.
I know.
Exactly.
I know. Sim Gill, Salt Lake County District Attorney, thanks so much for talking with us. It's always a pleasure. We'll see you soon, I hope.
Thank you for the privilege. Take care.
All right. Thank you, Sim. We'll talk to you later. Traffic, Gina, please.
Oh, boy. City streets are snow-packed and slick. We've got many accidents to tell you about. I'm looking at I-15, both northbound and southbound through the middle part of the valley. It is slow going through there with several accidents. We've got issues in Parley's Canyon, eastbound I-80. They're saying approved traction devices are required, not just for semis, but all vehicles in Parley's right now. That's how much snow they're getting. Of course, that's the case for Little and Big Cottonwood Canyons as well. We've got crash both directions, 54 south, 7th west. Heard from a few friends of the program who are stuck in that, and I do mean stuck. You're just sitting there.
Yep.
Crash northbound I-215 west, 47th south. Out by Saltaire, they've had a lot of snow on I-80 out there and a couple different crashes that they're dealing with. Crash westbound SR-201, Bangor Highway. It's a good morning to stay put if you can. Now, this should all clear up by this afternoon, but your morning commute, I'm afraid, is trouble.
Yep.
Stock up your holiday bar with Five Wives vodka. I don't know what holiday they're talking about. What's our next holiday? The Valentine's Day. How about that? Best local spirit of 2023 by City Weekly. 750 milliliter bottles of Five Wives are on sale now for $4 off at the DABS stores.
Thank you. All right, the Boner recap game coming up after these messages and a song. It's going to be easy to play, even if you didn't listen this morning. You could just tell us who won the Boner this morning. I'll bet you could guess. But if you were listening, that's good too. 877-602-9696. Give us a call. What is the prize?
The prize is something from your desk.
Something from my desk?
Or Bill's desk.
Well, I don't know if you want anything on my desk. Everything is covered with mold.
No, nothing from Bill's desk.
I've got a Johnny Utah T-shirt.
Perfect. From Point Break.
From Point Break.
That's Keanu Reeves' character in Point Break.
Yep. Salt Lake Film Society. It says Johnny Utah.
What do you got? I can't see what that is.
Oh, let's go with that instead. It's a pint glass. It's an X96 pint glass from Squatters. Let's do that instead. All right? So you get the pint glass from Squatters, X96 logo pint glass. At 877-602-9696. Easy to play and win. Live at the Eccles.com.
So if you're looking for an excuse to go downtown and do something fun, Comedy at the Eccles is a great night out. Joe Coy, Hassan Minaj, Leanne Morgan, Nate Bargatze, Brian Reagan. Those are a few of the comics that are selling out shows at the Eccles Theater. You can see them there. But you can make reservations also at Tin Angel or the Finca's Pinchos Bar. Have a drink before the show. The next up at the Eccles is Mark Normand.
Oh, he's funny.
He's got a show Saturday night, February 17th at the Eccles. Mark Normand, who Jerry Seinfeld called the best young and upcoming comic, is quickly becoming one of the most talked about touring comedians in America. His recent 1 hour Soup to Nuts is a hit on Netflix, where it can also be seen starring in season 3 of The Stand-Ups. Mark Normand is a frequent guest on all the late night talk shows, Tuesdays with Stories and We Might Be Drunk. For tickets and information about the Mark Normand Show, visit liveeccles.com. Even though... Explain what this is.
Our yearly Deadpool. Yes, we get hate mail for this.
But we're horrible people.
Yeah, because only horrible people would play this kind of game.
Oh, people have played this for years. They used to call it the Ghoul Pool.
Yeah.
In the office.
There's even a website for it.
So. Oh, there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised.
These are our predictions of what celebrities will die in the year 2023, and we make a game out of it.
The game comes with a point system, and using the age 100 as your cutoff. So if someone dies at the age of 90, that's 10 points.
Right.
80, 20 points. So
yeah,
you can play a conservative game and pick people in their 90s and hope at the end of the year that you've got 10 points.
So we each picked 10 celebrities. Last year, Katie came in dead last.
Yep.
So let's have her read her list first.
Now, first of all, have you all submitted to Frank Chris?
Yes.
Who is the Celebrity Grim Reaper?
Yeah.
I just barely submitted my list just this moment.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So the first one I've got is always Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Okay.
I'm still convinced he's gonna get assassinated. So
Okay.
he's 26. Don't get mad at me, but Michael J. Fox is still on my list as
Oh,
well.
boo!
I know.
Katie.
You're gonna hate the next two as well.
Oh, no.
I've got Ozzy Osbourne and Mel Brooks.
Katie.
Now,
I
see,
know.
but
I'm sorry.
again, Gina, these are not people you want to die.
Yeah, but that's what my list
Well, that's
is.
what your list is.
Well,
What her
yeah.
list is
I
she's...
have a couple of hopes on here, but
Alright.
mainly
Because on my list, I have nobody that I want to die.
Oh.
I don't want anyone to
I don't
die.
want anybody
You know?
to die, but like I also don't get mad at me on this one. Alan Alda from
No,
MASH.
Katie!
Wow, you're harsh.
I know.
She's just
I'm
trying
really
to
mean.
win.
Here's some hopes for you at least. Mitch McConnell and Dick Cheney.
Okay.
At least those are higher.
Yeah, both too evil, I think. But
I also think Andy Dick's gonna
Oh,
crash
that's a good
this year.
choice. That's a good
He's
choice.
57 and he's struggle busting.
Yeah.
He's been on people's list before, I think.
Yes. Yeah. In this year, he's going to prison and things like
no, I
that.
mean, this is a good
so-
choice because he's a young age, and
He's
all
57.
it would
Yeah.
take is one
Mhm.
of those to win the ghoul pool at the end, the dead pool.
Yoko Ono. She's 90.
Is she really?
Yeah. And then please, I don't want this one more than anything, and I know I'm a jerk for putting it, but Tim Curry.
Oh.
I had him on my list for a while.
He
but
was on my list one time, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's still in the wheelchair. He's really avoided the public, so I love him
It's
dearly,
like when
but I don't
when
want
you go
it.
to Comic-Cons that he's appearing at, you know, usually they have a table where you can go up and meet him and get things signed. They don't have that.
Nope, not anymore.
He has people, and they take the stuff to his hotel room and he signs it.
And he doesn't come out for photos anymore and things like that. So
All right.
that's my list.
Let's see, who came in next? Was it you, Carrie?
Was it me?
Yes.
I think
Okay,
it was, yeah.
so here's my list. As always, for Steph, Phil Collins.
Right.
It just goes without saying every year, Phil Collins. Tony Bennett.
Okay.
Harry Belafonte.
Wait,
Is he still alive?
I think he went. Check.
Let me look.
Double check it.
I'm pretty sure he died.
I looked up yesterday and he was still current, but double check that. Here's a real obscure one. Ed Ames.
Oh, from
He was on Daniel Boone.
he threw an axe on Johnny Carson.
Yes.
And Harry Belafonte is still alive.
Still
All
with
right,
us. Okay.
okay.
Doc Severinsen, the former leader of the Tonight Show Orchestra.
Okay.
June Lockhart. As you can tell, I'm playing a very conservative
you
game
are.
this year because
I didn't know she was still around.
You know, the lead singer from Smash Mouth screwed me up.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I thought for sure he was going to go.
I love June Lockhart.
I like it. I like her daughter, Anne. Angie Dickinson.
Okay.
Okay. Pepper.
James Earl Jones.
Oh,
boo.
no.
I know. Again, I don't want any. Well, except Phil Collins. I don't want any of these people to. This one really cuts to the quick. Valerie Perrine.
I know why you picked her.
Miss Tessmacher.
She just the other day, sad.
Mm-hmm.
She tweeted out she's really ill and she's trying to sell the clothes that she wore
In Superman.
Superman
Oh,
to
wow.
raise money. And the picture of her is her in bed
Yeah.
holding up the dress that
Oh,
she wore
sad.
as Miss Tessmacher.
Yeah.
Oh, sad.
And then finally, Tina Louise. Ginger from Gilligan's
Gilligan's
Island.
Island.
She's the last one alive.
Okay.
So that's why I'm
All
picking
right.
her. All right.
Now, you notice I haven't booed any of yours because it's just a game. Okay, here's my list. I think I was next.
Mm-hmm.
This one was on my list last year, too. David Allen Coe.
Yes. Good choice.
He's 83 this year, I think. New on my list this year, Dick Cavett.
Dick Cavett.
Yeah.
Oh.
New on my list again, I believe, Bruce Dern.
Good choice. I looked at him.
Next,
You considered
I
Bruce
considered
Dern?
Bruce Dern.
Julie Andrews.
Oh, Also a good choice.
Oh.
I don't know, though. She's still in pretty good shape.
He's 87.
Yeah.
Now, here, this one, I could really clean up with this one.
Yeah.
Al Roker.
Yeah, see, that
Oh,
I considered
yeah.
Al Roker.
Mm-hmm. Next, John Biner. I don't know why
Wow.
I picked John
Out of
Biner.
nowhere, John Biner.
John Biner, but there he is. He's 84. Next, Dame Edna Everidge.
Oh,
Dame
Edna?
Barry Humphries. Also,
Oh,
also
yeah,
known
so
as-
is it Dame Ed?
It's the
Okay.
same person.
Okay.
88 years old. Next, Martin Sheen.
Oh, I think he's all right.
He's 82.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next, Shelley Duvall.
Oh, man.
She just has a movie out now. She's
73.
Yeah.
And then from last year, also on my list, Phil Donahue.
Phil Donahue. All right. Gina?
I won last year
Mm-hmm.
with Kirstie Alley.
Yes, you did. That was a great pick.
And I try to pick people that I won't be sad if they go.
Like
Sorry.
Kirstie Alley.
Yeah, exactly.
Mostly my list is that. So number 1, Steve Bannon. He just, there's not
Well, he's
something
going to
right
jail.
there.
You know,
Speaking of jail, Ghislaine Maxwell.
that's a good choice.
Jail. Glenn Beck.
Also, well,
Okay.
I don't know.
Not going to happen.
It might. Gordon Lightfoot.
Everyone's asking for Gordon Lightfoot.
What do you got against Gordon Lightfoot?
Well, he's not. I mean, he's just he's a good choice because he's old.
If you could read my mind, Bill, you'd know why I hate Gordon Lightfoot.
Now, I don't want him to go, but John Cleese.
John Cleese. He's on tour right now for the See Him Before He's Dead tour.
Yeah.
Is what it's called.
See?
It's not a joke.
I do love him.
Kevin Sorbo.
Okay.
Oh, that's a want.
Who's
Yeah.
not ill or anything.
I know a lot
but
of people that would appreciate
Sick in
that
the
one.
head.
Yeah, you're throwing that boat away there.
Mhm.
Van Morrison.
Good choice.
Harvey Weinstein.
Also a good choice.
Rupert Murdoch.
Mm-hmm. That's a wish list.
And new this year on my list, replacing Kirstie Alley, Faye Dunaway.
Faye Dunaway. Wow.
Okay.
Okay. There it is. I think Frank Christ has approved and accepted all of our lists.
Yeah.
I don't
Yes,
think
he
we had
has.
any overlapping.
No.
No overlapping. I had a couple in reserve.
I was
just in
surprised
case.
that somebody
I did
didn't
too.
get Al Roker. Like
Well, and I was going to do Alex Jones, but I thought Carrie had Alex
I
Jones.
did last year, but I took him off. I had Paul Dooley that I did not put down. I had Hal Linden and Peter Marshall, whom I did not put down. I even had Shatner, whom I did not put down.
I took off Emperor Palpatine of mine.
Ian McDermott.
Yeah, and the Unabomber.
All right. We're terrible people. Play along if you're also a terrible person. Pick your 10 celebrities.
You can send them to us if you want, Radio from Hell
Yeah.
at x96.com, and we'll keep a list of yours as well.
Sure, I'll print them off. Thank you.
Heather and Roy says, hooray, hoo, are you kidding me? In Roy?
In Roy?
I'd never kid you in Roy.
That's Hooray Who. We're going to have him on the show here in about 20 minutes. 25. Stand by for
I didn't
that.
know they were from Ogden.
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
Locals. Okay. We got the boner recap game happening.
Oh, we do? Let me find that then. I got to get the boner candidates here. Let's see. And do we have somebody to join us?
I believe Allie is on the phone.
Allie, good morning. Allie? Oh, Allie.
Hang on. Hold it.
Allie.
Is it Ali or Allie?
No, it's Allie.
Oh, okay.
I just hit the wrong button. Sorry, it's
There.
Allie. There we go.
There, Allie, are you with us now?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, hi there. Hi there. Where are you calling from, Allie?
I am calling from Salt Lake.
Did you know Hooray Who was from Ogden?
I did not know that.
That's amazing. Listen, Allie, I'm going to read you these 3 boner candidates we had today, and then you'll be able to, I'm almost positive, tell me who the winner was. And when you do that, Gina will award you...
the pint glass that we have, the Squatters X96 Radio from Hell pint glass.
These are very nice pint glasses, and has our logo on it and Squatters logo on it. So here we go, Allie. You ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, boner candidate number 1. The kids come home from daycare, and all they want to do is take a nap. A former Indiana daycare worker, the director, rather, at a Christian-based daycare center for little tykes, admitted that she gave melatonin gummies to the kids ahead of nap time without parental consent. This caused the children, when they came home from daycare, to exhibit out-of-character behavior like increased sleepiness, headaches, and bedwetting. She's going to serve some time in the Huzgau, as they say, in the prison. Boner candidate number 2, the Prime Minister of Great Britain wants to make Great Britain great again. He's a MAGA guy, and he made a disparaging comment about transgendered people moments after he was informed that the mother of a murdered transgendered teenager was there in the Parliament at the same time. He was told about it, and then he made this slur about a lawmaker there. And boner candidate number 3, well, he must be a migrant because somebody told me he was a migrant. On live TV, on the Sean Hannity show, a guardian angel tackling a man that he was sure was an illegal alien or a migrant, tackling him on the streets of New York. Turns out he wasn't. He was a guy from the Bronx. When asked why, Curtis Lewa, the guardian angel guy, would tell Sean Hannity with certainty that the man's background was that he was a migrant, Lewa said, well, because somebody told me he was.
Yeah, it was like 5 of them.
Yeah.
Swarmed him.
Yeah, 5 guardian
5
angel
guardian
guys.
angel guys. Yeah. Gang members.
So those were the 3, Allie. Which one was the winner?
Oh, my goodness. Number 3.
Yes.
Well done.
Correct.
Good guess.
Correct. I number 2 certainly could have been a contender there, but well, they were all good. But you're right.
Definitely.
So you're the winner, Allie.
Hang on
Congratulations.
the line. We'll tell you how to get your glass. There we go.
So you going to have a Super Bowl party?
No, I don't think so. We normally don't. I've gone over to Jeff Maudlin's house for the Super Bowl before, but
You're just going to...
yeah, usually I just watch it at home. And
I imagine you're having a to-do.
We're having a small to-do. But
we a lot of times my wife will make like really good nachos.
Because you're all Chiefs fans.
Well, I'm traditionally 49ers fan, but my house is all Chiefs fans. And I root for the Chiefs when they're playing anybody other than the 49ers.
So are you you'll be rooting for the 49ers? Then?
I will wear a 49ers shirt during the game, but honestly, I will be fine however this turns out.
I think the 49ers will win.
You think?
Yep.
I want the Chiefs to win because it'll upset the Bros.
Yes.
That's the reason I'm rooting for the Chiefs.
Yes.
But I think it's fun to see the Bros cheering for like the second gayest city in the world. I just think it's hilarious.
What's the first gayest city? Salt Lake?
Palm Springs.
Oh, Palm Springs?
Yes.
Oh.
Isn't that where the wealthy gays are?
Well,
all gays are wealthy.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
All
and
of
they all
them?
take care of their yards really well. They're all really good about that.
All right. Let's take a break. We'll be back after these messages with some leftover news. Stand by for that. Ogden's Own Distillery. Go to ogdensown.com. People have been texting ever since Jimmy was here about this recipe for this cocktail that we had this morning. It's on the Ogden's Own website, and you use Underground. It's an herbal spirit. It's on sale now, $3 off at your local DABS store. And it's distilled from corn, then introduced to the blend of 33 herbs, spices, and flavors. Some of the flavors include a mellow blend of cassia, angostura, anise, cardamom, yarrow, wormwood, guarana, ginseng, plum. And there's a whole list here. Orange oil, lemon oil, spearmint. It's all in there. It's the herb alcohol blend sweetened with pure cane sugar, proofed at 80. That's 40% ABV. Gluten-free. But you use this liqueur, this spirit, in the Spanking the Monkey cocktail, which is what we had this morning. Now, there's another one on the Ogden's Own website for Valentine's Day called the Underground Surfer. It's 1 part of the Underground, 1 part coconut rum, 2 parts pineapple juice over ice. Pretty easy to make.
That
really,
sounds good.
Really sweet. Going to be good.
Do we have any of that stuff around?
Did Jimmy leave it?
I don't know. I'd make some right now.
OgdenZone.com. Stop by your DABS store and pick up a bottle.
Hi.
I have in my hands
the
results of our Twitter poll.
Oh, I'm very interested to see how this turned out.
Nick's mustache, should it stay or should it go?
Huh.
Well, does Nick look better with or without his mustache was the question. Okay. And there were 2 photos.
I provided the photos.
They were both wearing the same outfit.
The same Christmas garb.
Christmas sweater. One clean-shaven. Young, youthful, almost childlike.
But
Nick.
looking grumpy on purpose.
But he purposely stuck his gut out and brought his chin in, so he just like, brr, brr.
Are you saying I made that photo purposefully bad for this poll?
I think you did. But, and then the other one, same outfit, posed jauntily almost, with hands on hip and that sort of thing, with the mustache.
Flattered.
66.9% think he looks better with the mustache.
Huh.
33.1% say he looks better without. So.
Ain't that something?
Well, it might be that people realize that your face has almost absolutely no character.
It needs something.
So-
It needs something.
So
Is that what you're saying?
If the mustache isn't there, it's just like your features are almost have been erased.
Let's walk it back. Let's walk it back a little bit.
All right.
Bill has said for months now that I need to lose the mustache because it makes me look terrible.
Yeah.
And now your position is I have the mustache because my face has no other character to
Well,
it.
Which I think is a good thing. See, I think it's a good thing that you're one of those kind of people that every time I see you, I would go, "Have we met?"
But the mustache changes this. It makes me more recognizable, is what you're saying right there.
That is true. If you're going to keep it, commit to it.
Yeah.
Don't have it all nicely trimmed up. And I want you to grow a mustache. Not just that little.
How is keeping it nicely trimmed not paying attention to it?
You make it. You almost make it disappear.
Do I?
Yeah. Let it get full.
This is the color. Can it be thicker?
It can be thicker.
Yeah, make it thicker.
Make it thicker.
Okay.
And I would even suggest coloring it a little bit.
Really?
Yeah.
And
because it's lighter than your actual hair.
Yeah,
your actual
that
hair
is true.
Darker.
I will give you that.
So if it were darker,
okay,
perhaps.
Will it go down? Can you grow it down the sides?
Can you do a
I can.
You can do a handlebar?
Do that.
Do a handlebar?
Don't do a handlebar.
Do a Hulk Hogan. Come on.
Well, yeah, that one. That's not a handlebar.
Let's not do
That's
Hogan.
Let's go all the way down here.
Yeah.
Down
Let's
there?
do a Hogan.
Mm-hmm.
Weirdly enough, the hair actually only grows without patches down that line.
Do it.
So,
It's patchy everywhere else.
Here especially.
Do it.
This is an audio format, so I'm not doing our audience any service. But
Below the chin. All right.
Yeah, do that. I think It might give you an evil aspect if you do that.
Evil, Nick.
Oh, now see Terrence in the chat room, and you can trust Terrence. He knows what he's talking about. He says product is your friend, but he also says that you should do the chin hair and mustache combination. You get just a little tuft under the chin here, just a tuft.
Like what do they call soul patch kind of thing almost?
And that's because your mustache is kind of on the thinnish side. It's not as dark as it could be. It'll help it a little.
Can you do a soul patch?
Do I want a soul
like
patch?
under your lip?
Yeah, but I feel like it looks a little hick-like when I do that.
No, with the mustache, and then you grow that little soul patch right there, right under your lower lip. Yeah. Then it'll make you look like it will almost make you look like you're maybe a jazz musician.
Okay. I'll take jazz music.
Now, see, here's a texter. It says, I voted for because it makes him look older. Without it, he looks like a tall child in grade school.
Thank you.
But
this is what I
like
said yesterday.
My youthful childlike Nick. That's what I like.
Started here at
9:21 right now. And Big Boy News brought to you by
Waterproof your home with Baseco because water can make its way through your foundation in many different ways. Baseco specializes in a variety of permanent foundation waterproofing solutions tailored to your unique issue. From sump pumps all the way to major repairs to cracked settling foundations, each solution is backed by a guarantee. Schedule a free assessment today at baseco.net.
I've got a story for you, Carrie.
Yes.
Nearly 160 people suffered from vomiting and diarrhea aboard a luxury cruise ship that
why would you do
that
this
has
to
since
him?
departed from San Francisco. Health officials confirmed, and it's still unclear what caused the mysterious gastrointestinal outbreak.
Being on a cruise ship, I think.
According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, 129 passengers and 25 crew members got sick on the Queen Victoria, a vessel of the upscale Cunard Line. The Queen Victoria departed from San Francisco on a Wednesday and is now headed toward Hawaii. Since the outbreak, cruise employees have isolated sick passengers and crew and increased its sanitation protocols. Chase told the San Francisco Gate via email that these measures have been effective.
Have fun, Carrie.
Yeah. I love
Enjoy
my
your-
niece. I love my nieces.
Enjoy your cruise.
Yep.
Millions of Americans. I won't go on. Florida. The discovery of a large World War II era bomb buried at a Florida regional airport.
Wow.
Has prompted evacuation that extended half a mile in every direction. A construction company is credited with finding the 1,000-pound explosive as crews were digging along Helicopter Drive near Brooksville, Tampa Bay Regional Airport, the Hernando County Sheriff's Office reported. The airport is about 50 miles north of Tampa. The bomb was buried at the northeast corner of the airport, an area that was used as a bombing range back in the day. Hernando County Sheriff Al Ninehuis said that the bomb was so rusted and decayed there was certainly no way of telling whether it was live or inert.
Wow.
The discovery was the team from MacDill Air Force Base in Tampa plans to respond to the scene to help dispose of the ordnance. I don't know if that's been done yet or not.
Well, because we haven't heard it in a while.
The Rolling Stones have cut back on their backstage writer requests. The legendary rock and roll band's longtime bass player, Daryl Jones, has been performing with the Start Me Up group, God, really, since the 90s, and he says they no longer have big asks for their backstage area.
We should ask for more things now.
Such as huge gaming rooms, but there is still plenty of food to chow down on, including 80-year-old guitarist Keith Richards' favorite, shepherd's pie. That's in the rider. Always has to have shepherd's pie at the venue. Daryl, who replaced Bill Wyman after he retired in 1993, is quoted by the Daily News Star newspaper Wired column as saying, well, it's changed over time. It used to be a huge snooker room. They'd put snooker tables in there. They would make a room out of curtains and things. We had banks of video racing games where you sit with. That was around for a while. But we've kind of cut back on that stuff now. Keith still has what he loves, though. He has a shepherd's pie. I mean, there's so much food backstage. Me and the keyboard player have our own rider. I don't know. And the story ends there.
What would you put? That's an X-Poll question.
There's an X-Poll.
What would you put in your rider backstage if you were
Only
performer?
green M&Ms. Only green ones.
Pinball machine I can use.
Yeah?
I'd like to play pinball before I go
sure.
on stage. Yeah.
And butter rum lifesavers. Bowls.
Hey, yeah, what happened?
Oh, way to go. Bring that up.
Where's our butter rum lifesaver?
I didn't get to the store, okay?
Okay,
all right.
Former NFL coach Katie Sowers says she believes firsts are important. She's setting an example for diversity in U.S. sports. As a 49ers coach, she became the first openly gay and first female coach at a Super Bowl. She's now pushing for more recognition in women's flag football and serves as Director of Strategic Initiatives for the sport at Ottawa University. Sowers has blazed a path for what is possible in NFL football, but says she looks forward to seeing what is possible in women's flag football. Women can actually strive to help get their education paid for and get out there and potentially become an Olympic athlete. I believe they are having flag football in the Olympics. Finding more ways to fairly monetize women's talents has been an ongoing challenge in some parts of U.S. sports for athletes. Let's see, Taylor Swift. No, I don't want to talk about that. Mark Knopfler,
Yes.
Dire Straits guitar player and singer, has assembled a We Are the World-style supergroup of legendary guitarists for a charity single whose proceeds will go to benefit the Teenage Cancer Trust and Teen Cancer America. The 60-plus roster of 6-string slingers. God.
They're guitar players. They're all guitar
I don't have
players.
time to pre-read a lot of this stuff, so that, Bruce Springsteen, Slash, Eric Clapton, Ronnie Wood, Pete Townsend, Sting, Queen's Brian May, Joan Jett, and Pink Floyd's David Gilmour. The re-recording of Knopfler's song Going Home, theme of the local hero. It's an instrumental from 1983. Also features Ringo Starr, Chic's Nile Rodgers, and Jeff Beck.
You know, the trick with We Are the World, which that's a good Netflix documentary, should work, but is to listen to it and try to identify every individual as they're singing. This is instrumental. It will be interesting to listen to it and see if you can tell who... Because these are all people with very distinctive guitar
Jeff
styles.
Beck's final recording before his death in January
Oh, really?
of last year. Yeah. The song from the group, dubbed Mark Knopfler, Mark Knopfler's Guitar Heroes, was produced by former Dire Straits keyboardist Guy Fletcher. It also has work with Sheryl Crow, Joan Armatrading, Jonathan Cain from Journey, Tom Morello, Peter Frampton, Buddy Guy, Joe Bonamassa, Paul Carrick, Keith Urban, Steve Cropper, Steve Vai, Vince Gill, Sam Fender.
It's a who's who.
Sonny Landreth, Duran Duran's Andy Taylor, the Eagles' Joe Walsh, Albert Lee's Rush, Dave Mason.
Good Lord.
Steve Tedeschi,
Yeah.
or Susan Tedeschi, and Derek Trucks, and many more, it says. I had really no idea that it was going to be like this. It hit Guy and I quite early on that we had to extend this piece somehow to take the number of people who joined in. Before I knew it, where I was, Pete Townsend had come to my studio armed with a guitar. It's just, it must.
I want to hear it.
It's.
I might be able to pick out Dave Gilmour, but boy,
I guess it's available. There's a link.
It says
to
March
here.
15th.
Oh yeah, it's a local hero due out March 15. Oh, I think this is just a link to like a photo of the session. That's
really cool.
amazing, and it's an instrumental. Life imitates art for A-list actor Christian Bale. Much like his character Bruce Wayne provided for Gotham City's at-risk and orphan children at the conclusion of The Dark Knight Rises, Bale endeavors to help kids in real life, particularly siblings in the foster care system. He has a charity called Together California, which he co-founded, and they are there to assist kids who are in foster care. That's very nice.
That is.
Very nice. All right, that's it.
Weather.
Well, It's still snowing downtown here. As I look out the weather window, you can see it is snowing in front of the building.
By the
And,
way, that's trademarked. Don't anybody
yeah.
take it. Gina Barberi's weather window.
Now, it's supposed to taper off this afternoon. So this snow we're seeing out there that's causing you headaches in your commute should not be there when you're driving home later today. They're saying. Allegedly. Cold, 32 right now. Only going to get up to 39 for a high today. After this tapers off, then it looks like our weekend is pretty sunny. Mostly sunny Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I'm looking ahead. It does stay cold, though. We stay in the mid-30s. It looks like overnight lows in the 20s. Shop everyday low prices on a huge selection of home furnishings at Living Spaces. Plus, discover clearance deals that are up to 60%. Get free next day shipping. Save big every day only at Living Spaces.
Yeah, you listen to Radio from Hell.
Hello, kiddies. It's me, your old friend, the Bookkeeper. I'm here to help you with your taxes. Today, we're going to hear a tale from the old ledger which should simplify on how to fill out those pesky forms. Pay close attention now, so you won't have to pay even more later.
You can come on in now, Mr. Irvine.
Thank you. You can call me Lemar.
Lemar. Okay. My secretary said you had some questions concerning your tax forms?
Well, yeah. There ain't enough places on this here 1040A. I was wondering if there was a special form or maybe a separate schedule I should fill out.
Enough places for what?
My wives.
Oh, you should only list your current wife on your tax forms. Your ex-wife will have to file separately.
Ex-wife? I ain't never been divorced.
You have more than one wife.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. There ain't no place on this here farm to list all my wives. Not to mention the fact they don't leave you enough places to list your children either.
How many wives do you have?
6. But the 2 youngest haven't turned 18 yet, so I figure I'll list them as dependents.
Oh my. You're going to just have to list your first wife on your 1040, and then we'll file separate forms with the other ones, listing them as single head of household.
Well, now wait one darn minute there, Sonny. No woman of mine is going to claim to be the head of my household. I won't stand for it.
Now, it's only a classification. They won't really be heads of households. I mean, think of it. 5 women with no income and children to claim. You should get quite the refund, Lemar.
Lemar.
That
would be dishonest. I'm a God-fearing man. I couldn't cheat the government like that.
You do know that polygamy is against the law, don't you?
Yeah. Big refund, you say?
Very big.
Where do I sign?
You see, kiddies, everyone can get a refund just so you know which deductions to take. And if you're willing to sit through a very long audit. As for Lemar, prison might be a vacation when you compare it to having 6 wives reminding you to wipe your feet and take out the trash. Well, this is your old friend, the Bookkeeper, reminding you that on midnight on April 15th, that is the cutoff.
Oh, they're back together.
Well, we have members of the legendary band Hooray Who in our studio. A lot of people remember Hooray Who very fondly, but you have not been together really since, what, 2000 and something?
2001.
2001.
Oh, wow. That's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got Matt and Brian and Jeff here with us. And then some of you are remnants of Catfish.
Yes,
and
sir.
the Johnny
We used
Utahs.
to play
and
Catfish. We used, yeah.
We kind of, it's a blend. We've got representation from Nine Spine Stickleback, if you remember them back in the day.
Yes.
Mag Static.
Yeah.
It's Model Citizen.
Yep.
And I didn't realize Hooray Who, you guys got started in Ogden, my hometown.
Yeah, yes, we're primarily Davis County, Ogden area is where most of our following was. We were always trying to break into the Salt Lake scene a little bit, and had moderate success there. But our wheelhouse was always Davis County and Ogden.
What were some of your favorite places to play back then?
Deviate was a blast.
Oh, yeah.
The
Always.
basement of Deviate. There was the debauchery that happened in the basement of Deviate.
That place was scary. That basement was scary, though.
Well,
because I mean, you go down. If there was a fire or something, what
you were host. Well, the great thing is that since everything's kind of interconnected down in the or was at that time, when we'd be waiting to go on, warming up or whatever, I'd kind of wander back, and there was a spot where there was a gap in the drywall. And you could look up and peek over, and I would catch the set of whoever was playing at the Dead Goat.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That was a fun place to play as well.
That was great.
The Zephyr was. But up north, Kamikazes was always kind of our spot. And in the Catfish days, we used to play at the place called the Gray Moose.
Oh yeah,
which
Moose
was
Pub,
which was great because they were very lax on carding people. And we had several members of the band in the Catfish days that were actually most of the band was underage. I think for a while I was the only of age member of that
person.
band. So
so how many of the original members of Hooray Who have you got back together for this? You're doing this performance at the Catalyst
this weekend, right?
Tonight.
It's tonight.
7:00.
It's a fundraiser, right, for for a magnet school, the Davis Catalyst Center. And a couple of the students there have a three-piece band called Valhalla.
They're going to open for you guys.
Yeah, and they are good.
Are they?
Man, I'm excited. It's in fact, I told them, you know what? We'll open. Why don't you let these guys headline? Because they're relevant. We're remnants.
Well, you want to go to bed early.
Exactly.
What style of music are they?
They're kind of this grunge rock, very throwback to like the early '90s grunge.
Mm-hmm.
They're good.
Nice.
They're talented kids, man.
Nice.
Yeah, I believe so.
Now, so does one of you have a kid at this school?
Our guitar player Chris Olson has a daughter at the school.
Well, that's it. So they kind of got you guys to say, "Why don't you come and do a fundraiser for us?" And you were nice enough to do that.
Yeah, well, and they have a concert series. They do concerts from time to time there, and the students there at the school are responsible for producing the show, promoting the show, the whole nine. So they're going to be running the sound, the lights, the door, the merch.
Well, this has just become a thing now.
Everything.
This is
Absolutely.
an event.
My son went there.
And we figured an 8-piece band with horns, percussion, multiple vocalists. That's great training for these kids. Let's put them through the paces.
I want to say the show is really inexpensive too. It's like, is it $10?
It's $10.
$10.
Man, that's great. $10.
Great deal.
And how do you find? So it's at the Davis Catalyst Center. It's how do you find that place?
It's in Kaysville. I just plug Davis Catalyst into my maps, and it takes me where I need to go.
there.
Mm-hmm.
Davis Catalyst. Never need the map. Got the GPS.
It's 1265 Sportsplex Drive. Sounds like you want to map that anyway.
Map that.
So.
Yeah,
definitely.
Davis Catalyst Center. And what time is the show?
7:00. Valhalla plays at 7. Hooray Who should be on about 7:45, 8 o'clock-ish. We'll be done with our set in time to get to bed at a good, decent time.
Not like the old days.
No. And with our fan base, it has aged with us, and so they really appreciate the early shows when we're playing at the bars. What time you go on? 11. Not going to be there.
Exactly.
I love you, but I can't.
That's exactly
But-
the same.
But Bill, to answer your question of the original lineup of Hooray Who, we had everybody back. We have since lost our sax player. It wasn't quite the level of commitment he wanted to have in his life right now, and that's fine. We miss him and we wish him well, but we've replaced him with a trombone player, the first new member of the band since the early 2000s. But we started with one guitar player, and he moved on to other projects, and we replaced him during the course of the early run of Hooray Who, and they are both back with the band.
Oh, great.
Chris Olsen and Wim Becker, they are amazingly talented guitar players in their own right.
And let's see, Matt, you do trumpet, right?
Yes,
Backing
sir.
vocals. And then let's see, we have here in the studio, who are not saying much, Brian.
Yes,
Brian,
I'm here.
What do you do, Brian?
I play the drums.
You're the drum, and you were in Catfish.
I was.
And you were in Hooray Who for the whole.
Both, yes.
Yeah. And then Jeff, what do you do?
I'm the Knuckle Dragon bass player.
That figures.
Yeah.
You kind of look like
Fit
a
the part,
bass
right?
player. Yeah. Hooray Who. It's great music. And then you're working on some other kind of project as well?
What's up?
Zach Davis, who's our singer. Zach and I have been playing music together since we met. We're hustling Midway Games at Lagoon in 1991. And on a slow day, we were just talking, and like you do, and started talking music. And he said, "All right, well, what's your favorite band?" I said, "Oingo Boingo."
Of course.
He said, "Well, me too." I'm like, "Well, I'm a trumpet player." He's like, "I want to start a band, and I want a horn section."
There we go.
In fact, it was the 1989 Alive tour.
Yes.
I hadn't met Zach yet, but we were both at that show, and that night we watched Oingo Boingo, and we both decided that's it.
That was
That's
your
what I want to do.
inspiration. Cool.
And there's horns.
Yes.
And so I still see them every time they're in town as Oingo Boingo former members. They put on a show. But so Zach has a project that he called Z Frequency, and it is very much a genre-free, whatever he feels like writing kind of a project. And it's about getting musicians, and most of the members of Hooray Who at some point are being involved in it or will be involved in it. But it's writing and recording and then releasing the tracks. We just dropped our first track last month. It's called Ghost. We've got another one coming out.
And where do you find it? Spotify?
Spotify, iTunes, anywhere, any of the streaming platforms. It's just Z Frequency.
Z Frequency.
Z Frequency?
Z
Yes.
Frequency. And you can, there's a Hooray Who website as well. It's just Who, H-O-O, Ray, R-A-Y, Who, W-H-O, HoorayWho.com. And there's Hooray Who merch there. And
yeah, I usually drink coffee out of my Hooray Who coffee mug, but coming up later this summer, we're really excited. In just a couple of months, we've got a Z Frequency has a track called "Old Dog New Tricks," and it's a tribute to the '90s ska scene in Utah, and it features Rick Anderson, who was one of the founding members of Swim Herschel Swim, on guitar and bass. Zach Craigle, who plays guitar in Insatiable, plays alto sax on this track. Wow. Zach and I are in it, and it's just a feel-good ska tune about ska in the '90s in Utah.
We should find it and play it.
There sure was a lot of it.
It'll be dropping, I believe. That's coming. I think that one's scheduled end of March, end of April. I think is when that's going to be released.
Let me know for sure.
Absolutely.
Utah kids have been ska crazy over the years, haven't they?
Well, and we're here for it. You know, we kind of rode that wave with Catfish a bit, and I think that. You know, Hooray Who coming back. I mean, the '90s are all coming back. Sure. So I figured, perfect time for us to strap it back on and see if these old dad bods can still hang.
$10 tonight. It's at the Davis Catalyst Center. Which is a school, a magnet school, and opening band Valhalla. It's only $10, so
it's all at x96.com.
Yeah, there's some information at x96.com.
We got it all there, so.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks
for having us.
All right, thanks. We'll crawl towards the exits after these.
X96.
Do you have a one of those things that people like?
A list? It's a list.
Is it?
Yeah, the best Halloween candy list according to experts.
Experts?
Yes.
How does one become an expert?
Let's see.
It's Radio from Hell with another list, because people love a good list. X96.
It's because these people are all members of the National Confectioners Society.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so these are experts about candy.
So we wouldn't go by sales numbers.
That probably has something to do with it. This is Halloween candy ranked as the very best according to the so-called experts.
Start at the bottom and work your way up.
They visited 10 of the leading expert websites to see what Halloween candies were rated the highest, and then they compiled them. Now, did you have a favorite Halloween candy to get when you were a kid?
I'm one of those weirdos that likes Almond Joy.
Oh, I like Almond Joy.
And Mounds. I like Mounds too.
Yeah, because sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you
don't.
Yeah. But I mean, people make fun of you for that. I liked just about everything. I mean, it's
Smarties,
easier.
come on.
I liked Smarties. Yeah. It's easier to name the candies that I didn't like.
Okay, like Necco wafers.
I actually didn't mind a Necco wafer.
That's how you practice communion.
Yeah.
I don't mind Necco wafers.
If it has too much caramel in it, I'm not. So like a Rolo, I'm not a fan of a Rolo.
I love caramel. Gina, you have a favorite?
Well, it's Reese's, of
The
course.
standard.
Yeah.
What is there? Were there some candies you didn't like?
Bit of honey. What the hell?
Yes,
oh, really? I like bit of honey.
If it's too chewy or too
It'll
caramelly,
pull your fillings out.
Exactly.
Bit of honey pulls your fillings
Well,
out.
you'd never want a what do they call those? Sugar daddy.
Oh yeah, no
sugar daddy.
No.
You never. I like those.
Yeah,
too.
see any of those kind of sticky ones.
I can make a sugar daddy last the whole movie.
That's the whole point.
Yeah. But here are the number 5. There are only 5 on this list.
I'm the weirdo who likes chocolate covered raisins. I mean,
I like them. Yeah, I like them. As a matter of fact, I really like them. Here we go.
Goobers.
Goobers. That was the chocolate covered peanuts.
Those are good too.
Number 5 on the list of 5.
Okay.
Starburst.
I don't care for Starburst.
They're fine.
I think they're just that's what I would say too, Gina. They're fine. They're just fine.
I won't have a Starburst.
Number 4, Snickers.
Now I ignored the Snickers bar for the longest time, up until just a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm. And couple of years ago?
Yeah. I mean, I had one when I was a kid, and I went, whatever. But now I've rediscovered the Snickers, and they are delicious.
Well, they do have a fair amount of. The Snickers has a fair amount of caramel.
It does.
Yeah.
It's not as chewy as like a bit of honey or something like that.
There are versions with almonds, hazelnuts, crunchy peanut butter.
Mm-hmm.
So they make different Snickers.
Dark chocolate ones.
Yeah. Number 3 on the list. This is weird. Sour Patch Kids.
See again.
My kids love Sour Patch.
I don't like those.
Well, it says the watermelon ones aren't very sour. It says here on the list.
No, they're delicious. They're good.
Number 2, Twixt.
I like a Twixt.
It's just a Twix. There's no T at the end of
Twix. Oh yeah, that's right, Twix.
Mm-hmm.
It's. I'm looking at it and I still said Twixt.
Mm-hmm.
Twix. It's it's a cookie though, isn't it?
It's it's a candy covered
candy
cookie.
bar.
It's got a layer of light caramel and chocolate, and a crispy cookie inside.
It's a cookie. It's a chocolate. It's a caramel. Twix bars, everything you could want in one candy. But they say the very best, the one that everybody likes. So Gina likes it. Reese's peanut butter cups.
Because it's the best.
It's the one that's. Now see, I Reese's peanut butter cups to me are okay, but they're a little salty.
Yeah, that's
part
of what I like about it.
I think that's
you get the salt and the sweet.
I don't care for that salty aftertaste of the Reese's.
The appeal.
I like them okay, but not they're not my go-to. They would not be my go-to.
They are my go-to.
They've got them out there in our store, I believe, Gina. If you want to go get one now, you could.
You keep trying to push me to buy stuff from the store.
Yeah, it's because I wanted to stay around.
JD in the chat room. Where's the big hunk?
Yeah, big hunk.
Guy replies, right here, big boy.
Big hunk is just chewy nougat.
It's like a bit of honey kind of thing. I can't eat it.
See, it's like Three Musketeers bar. I don't understand the appeal there.
Yeah,
there's not much going on there.
No,
It's all new. It's all that whipped up nougat.
And we used to have Mars bars.
I like a Mars bar.
And we don't have them anymore. Mm-hmm. They're in Great Britain, but we don't get them anymore.
I liked the standalone Take 5 bars.
Mm-hmm.
But they weren't selling enough, and so they combined those now with Reese's.
Which is just fine.
So it's like a Reese's with pretzel in it, so it's not quite the same.
It's fine. It's just fine. Let's see. How about just a box of snow caps? I bet you don't like those.
I don't even know what a snow cap is.
It's their licorice with little like crunchy candies.
Oh no, I don't like those.
Yeah.
Little snow caps.
Not a go-to, but if it's all they have.
How about the Boston baked beans?
Love the Boston baked.
No.
They're good.
Ooh.
They are good.
I love those. Can't find those anymore.
I bet they don't make black crows anymore.
Probably not. They're just like little licorice gummy kind of thing.
Yeah.
Katie likes a Crunch Bar.
Yeah, Crunch Bar.
Like Nestle Crunch.
Nestle's Crunch Bar. That's good.
Is the Clark Bar on the list? No.
Clark Bar. What was a Clark Bar?
Oh.
How about a Cherry-O-Lette?
No.
Oh. Zagnut?
Zagnut.
What about a Heath Bar?
Heath?
No.
My mom used to make a cake that had crunched up Heath Bar sprinkled all over it. That was really good.
Big Hunk is a chewy honey sweetened nougat bar. I remember that with whole roasted peanuts.
Yeah.
Not a fan. Like Abba Zaba or Uno.
Abba Zaba or Uno.
I don't care for a 100 grand bar. They're a little too chewy. Miss the O. Henry bar.
I don't remember. I remember the name, but I don't know what it was. Right? Nobody has said Baby Ruth.
No one said Baby Ruth, and no one said Payday. I like a Payday. Covered in peanuts.
Yeah, that's okay. So there's a Payday, and then there's another one that's like it called I forget the name of it now. What's that? What's that potato one from Idaho? The Idaho Spud.
Idaho Spud.
That's misnamed thing.
It's a marshmallow. Well, you know why they call it that? It's because it's sort of shaped like a potato.
Yeah.
I would never eat that based on the name. I would think it was some potato flavored candy.
But it's just marshmallow, right, with coconut.
Let's see. I like salted nut roll, which is it's essentially a Payday.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of, the salted nut roll.
Let's see.
Kyle Brown just texted me, "You guys are making me crave candy, and I can't have any."
Oh,
Kyle, we're sorry.
Katie likes the Baby Ruth. Toblerone.
That's Christmas candy.
Is it?
That's not Halloween candy. Nobody Toblerones for Halloween.
You have such weird rules about stuff.
I mean, nobody Toblerones for Halloween.
Well, I don't know if they do or not, but why shouldn't
that is
they?
A Christmas candy.
You have just these weird prejudice rules about
They're
things.
just the way things are.
It's a duty-free candy is what a Toblerone is. It's not a Christmas
That's
candy.
right. Duty-free.
It's not a Halloween candy.
Not a Halloween candy. It's a duty-free candy.
Candy corn. That's a Halloween candy. Candy corn.
Chocolate-covered crunchy frogs.
What?
I don't know.
All right.
Throwing these names.
9:53 boner of the week.
And it's brought to you by Phoenix's Rising Events. Presents a dance party tonight, 5 to 10 p.m. at the White Shanty in Provo with live music from Creep. Adults 21 and older event, phoenixisrisingevents.com.
So, Dave, the flower guy, I suppose you're here because you think you're going to pick the boner of the week, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's do that
It's
then.
his job.
Dave, I know you have a lot of roses for sale for Valentine's Day.
I pick them up on Monday.
You're picking them up on Monday.
Yep.
And then where will you just be around town?
Be around town.
Just on your jazzy or your whatever that is. That a jazzy?
Yeah.
Something like a jazzy. Yeah. Different name. So look for Dave and buy flowers for Valentine's Day for Dave. All right, you ready to pick?
Yeah.
Here we go. Number one from Monday. The border isn't about immigration. It's a spiritual battle. It's about good and evil. At least that's according to Representative Keith Self down there. He was at a rally. Folks, this is serious stuff. This is evil stuff. We're in a spiritual battle for the survival of our republic. That's what we're... Boner candidate number 2 from Tuesday. Which foot is the shoe on now, huh? It's on the other one, isn't it? Mark Green, Republican representative, Tennessee, given a taste of his own medicine. Joe Neguse, Democratic representative, Colorado, was before Green in a hearing to impeach Alejandro Mayorkas, the Homeland Security guy. So Neguse brought up the Americans are the victims of impeachment inquiry, to which he asked Green if he disagreed with the title of that, and he said, I do. He said, well, that's interesting. It's an editorial you wrote. Boner candidate number 3 from Wednesday. Quick, hide the statistics about water use at golf courses. Senator Dan McKay here in Utah, he thinks we need to get accurate monitoring of how much water golf courses are using. We need to find that information. Now, the golf courses have always been against doing that, but he says we need legislation that says we need to know. But we need to keep the information private from the public. Public shouldn't have the right to see it if we can get it. Boner candidate number 4 from Thursday, Natalie Klein. We all know what that is.
Yeah.
She apologized, sort of, by piling on. And boner candidate number 5 from today, he must be a migrant because, well, somebody told me he was. Curtis Sliwa and the Guardian Angels on Sean Hannity's show, beating up a guy he's a migrant, let's get him. It turns out he's a citizen of the United States from the Bronx. All right, David, which one was the worst?
Today.
Today?
Today.
All right. There you go.
I would agree with that entirely.
Well done.
All right.
Yep.
Let's do the promo and get out of here.
All right, I'm ready.
It's the big game this weekend.
You mean the Super Bowl?
I can't say Super Bowl.
Why can't we say Super Bowl?
We'll get in trouble.
Well, from who? The radio police?
There's no such thing as the radio police.
Radio police, open up.
Radio from Hell likely going to radio jail Monday morning on X96.
Yeah, for some reason you're not supposed to say it.
Who do you think you are? Phil Hendry?
Acting.
You're not supposed to use the name Super Bowl in your advertising.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, you can't be a bar and say, hey, come to our Super Bowl party. You have to say,
come and watch the big game. Yeah. It's kind of dumb.
It is. All right. Well, I think we're good. Fine job as always, Katie. Live long and prosper, bitches.
Don't you know who I am?
Playing phone tag with Cher.
Yes.